and welcome back to Joleen Vlogs, my vlogging channel, where we do Rando Chats. And this is Rando Chats episode 11. And you'll probably hear me right now. I'm grabbing something to drink, so grab yourself an ice cold beverage. Let me know you're here in the live chat. I see Care Bear. What is up? This is a really casual conversation where we just talk about things. Later at night, it's only 7:24 here, but we'll pretend it's later. I use my quiet radio voice. And yeah, it's just basically like your favorite nighttime podcast or old talkie radio show. Yes. What's up, Care Bear and Renee? You guys know what to do. Smash that like. Let me know all of your thoughts, hopes, and dreams and opinions in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys are up to. If you want to support the channel, you've subscribed. You've already supported it so much, but you can always send a super chat. You can do Venmo, all that cash app thingy stuff. Follow me on social media. There you go. That's it. Virtual hug. Yes, Andrea's here. So good to see you guys. I'm waiting for, Chell to get home from work and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to start. So I'm like, I need to go live. I haven't done a rando chat in a while, and so much has been going on. Andrea says it's plenty late for us East Coast folks. Let me know what you guys want to talk about in the chat. Feel free to throw out any topics. I might try to pop in one of my AirPods here, but sometimes it doesn't have the best sound. So yes, oh my God, right? BB23 Brittany, I have to do a video about this. So this is great, Tokyo. So just do what Tokyo does and throw things in the chat that you want to talk about, and you'll get my unfiltered commentary on it, where we're just friends talking about shit. Okay. So Brittany from BB23, our little TikTok dancer, I had heard rumblings about this brother of hers who is an alleged, I don't know if he's a convicted, I got to look more into it, but I had seen some articles about him being a sexual offender. Okay. The R word, as they say here on the YouTubes, because they don't let us say that word. Okay. So trigger warning, he is a whole creep. But this one of the women, his victims, I guess, I don't know how she prefers to be referred to, a survivor, victim of SA from him, went onto her TikTok and started exposing Brittany's whole damn family and how horrible she has been treated. And apparently there are a lot of victims that Brittany from BB23's brother has hurt. And I think she was even mentioning kids. I don't know for sure, but I want to do a video about it, but it's just so gross. But this brave young woman was just outing, that Brittany and her mom and this horrible brother, just how they laughed in court when she testified. Something like that, just that they were she described them to be very disgusting people. So yes, the D'Angelo family. I mean, I had heard preseason. I think it was preseason. Maybe it was a little into the season when I was looking up some of the house guests, as you do. I saw, or maybe someone sent it to me, I can't remember, but that Brittany's brother was a lawyer, and a lawyer who had been accused of some pretty horrible SA things. And I thought, okay, but I don't want to judge her on that because, she didn't do what her brother did. And I feel so many times women get blamed for the crimes of men. Like the wife will get blamed when the husband committed it, or it seems to happen that way, where when women commit crime, they're like, you're on your own. They're like, oh, that poor man had no idea his wife was a whole serial killer. But when it's a woman, or when it's a man doing it, they're like, the wife must have known. She's probably in on it with her. It's always, women have to kind of, especially in society, I feel like they have to take the brunt of men's mistakes when their family members of them are married to them. So I didn't want to judge Brittany, but according to this girl, and I got to look into this more before I do a video on my other channel. According to this girl, Brittany and her mom are horrible too, and were horrible to her in court and laughed at her. Right? Laughing at victims in court is a whole other thing, right, Renee? Oh my gosh. I was just like, you guys are here, Tilly. She wants my attention right now, and she's purring so loud. If you hear that, yes, make sure to smash that like. Make sure to smash. Thank you, Tokyo. I appreciate that. I pride myself on storytelling. It's so fun. So yeah, that's something. Thanks for bringing that up, because that was really hitting on the tiki-taki and the Twitter. And I commend this young woman who had to put up with this D'Angelo family and their alleged disgustingness. I mean, goodness, let me pop this Waterloo watermelon seltzer water. I know this isn't sipping key, but pretty crispy. Pretty crispy. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Jamie B said I was watching American Horror Story, but that show has me so confused. I am a couple episodes behind. I don't know if I'm confused. I like it. And then there's times where I go, do I like this? And I go, no, I do like this season. So I need to get caught up. I also need to get caught up on Handmaid's Tale and The Crown. I've watched like 3 episodes of the new season of The Crown. People are losing their mind because they don't like it. I will say, I'm not ready to say I don't like it. I really enjoy The Crown. I love it. People say it's too slow. I go, it's perfect. It is the perfect amount of slowness, because we're talking about the British monarchy, which is slow, old, calculated. I mean, all those things. So, I mean, of course, I think the show is so cinematically beautiful that I love it. But I will say, the actor, I love how they change actors every couple seasons, because it's different times within the crown, whether Queen Elizabeth is first taking the throne to then, 4 years later to 10 years later, 15 years later to now she's 65. The guy playing Prince Charles this season, way too hot, like muy caliente, way too hot. Prince Charles, he's not a hot man, okay? No. Now, I'm trying to think, was he? No. I feel like he always was kind of dragged in the press for just this, I don't even know, Dumbo-looking face, and that's not a rip. That's just kind of what they portrayed him as. He's got the ears, which who doesn't love a big ear? I do personally, but he just didn't carry it well. If you got large ears, which again, I love a large ear, you got to carry it well. And Prince Charles really didn't do that. So this guy playing him looks nothing like him. They're also roasting the woman playing the queen, but I think she's doing a fantastic job. She's tiny, and the queen was tiny in stature, short. And the woman who's playing Diana looks just like her, and she has everything down, like even the way she kind of holds her shoulders and her neck and her posture. But I'm hoping, just 3 episodes in, I am going to see, because it is the second season of Diana years. So season 4 was Diana years, and now season 5. So season 4 was Diana first coming into the family and then newly married and the early troubles. And now I assume this season is going to cover Diana's death. And I hope that they don't just gloss over things. But some of the criticism is that they are they're being a little too kind to Camilla and Charles. And also, the woman who's playing Camilla looks just like her. It is amazing. So I still have to, it's distinguished. Yeah, I used to have a big nose pre-plastic surgery. I didn't like mine because mine was broken and had a bump and it was sharp. But a nose that's not broken, that's large, beautiful, gorgeous, love it all the time. Okay, thank you, Brittany, thank you. Who's my favorite royal? Diana, because I am a white lady in my 40s. My friend Madison Shepherd has a great joke about that, how Princess Diana to white middle-aged women is what Selena is to young women of color because she says her mom, because Madison's dad is black and her mom's white. And she's like, her mom knows everything about Diana. And she feels like that is like the middle-aged white ladies, Selena. And for some reason it's a great joke. It's funny. She delivers a lot better than I just did. But that's why it just hits me, because I was like, oh shit, she's right. She's right. My second favorite royal is a tie between the corgis that were left behind, Prince Harry, Abby, and Meghan Markle. I don't understand what the big to-do hatred for Meghan Markle is, other than, the racism. But, geez. Jasco says the guy playing Prince Charles had real life scam. Oh no, cheating on his wife with a young actor. Oh, well, that sounds very likely for Hollywood. Very likely. I always would, when I was driving home late, Delilah was on, like, hey, Delilah, I'm Delilah, calling your request. Jamie B. Care Bear wanted me to send you a special request saying she's missing you and loving you tonight. So in honor of that, here's Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You. Cut to that, okay? I kind of gave up on Survivor. I was recapping it, and then I just got, this happens all the time to me. I feel like I have to finish what I started, but it wasn't giving it to me. It wasn't giving it to me. Short stack, hello. Oh, episode 9 is confusing you. I stopped watching American Horror Story, and I come over here. I'll rewatch this weekend. Yes. Every time I see the cover art for AHS, I think it's Machine Gun Kelly. I didn't watch. I saw Emily D. Baker live for the Daryl Brooks. I've watched some of that trial for sure, but I didn't watch the sentencing. But I saw that there were, I think, impact statements from the victims' families. Just a whole mess. But that guy is scary. Cuckoo bananas, narcissist, crazy. That judge, I mean, I couldn't even believe how patient she was with him. It was pretty crazy. Okay. Jamie B is decorating for Christmas. I am decorating for Christmas. Don't think that I haven't already transformed my pumpkin tree into a Christmas tree, because I have. I was going to take the black Christmas tree down and just put it away till next Halloween. I thought, I can't do it. She deserves love. So I'll surprise you guys. I'll probably reveal it on my Bedford Falls Babe Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Bedford Falls Babe. The first person to get that reference and explain it in the chat why I would name myself at Bedford Falls Babe gets my admiration for life. 762.5 years plus 6 life sentences. That's got to be a record. Oh my gosh. Oh, Survivor was good to know. Okay, I got to catch up. When I went to DC, I should say, when I met up with Busy, and if you guys missed it, we went live together on Sip and Key, and it was so fun. Okay. And he's really into Survivor, and I'm like, why aren't you covering it? And also, why aren't you covering it with me? And he's like, I'm just enjoying it. And I'm like, no, everything must be content. You know what I mean? You got to put a price tag on everything. Come on now. And he's like, no, I'm just enjoying watching it. So we actually watched a little Survivor before we went live. And so I think that's the last episode I saw. And I don't even remember who went home. Oh, Ryan. Yeah, Ryan. They voted him out. And I think it was, are we on jury now? Or not jury? What is it called? It's jury. No, it's not jury. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I would have loved to get some T-Swift tickets and taken my little loose goose, but I didn't even attempt to. But I hear people are crying over Taylor. Crying over. I have too many Instagrams. Okay, do you want me to name them? And I have a couple. I won't tell you the names because it's the only way I can look at some of the problematic, crazy YouTubers and see what's going on. And also some of the Big Brother people, because I don't want my name to pop up in their stories. Ew, no, gross. I would never. So I have at Spooky Joleen, which is my Halloween Insta. I have Bedford Falls Babe. Okay. It's jury. Thank you, Brooke. Okay. Thank you. Care Bear wins. Care Bear wins. Yes. Bedford Falls Babes is because I am a huge It's a Wonderful Life fan. Huge. Okay. And I say I'm, a best friends to Mary Bailey. It's in the bio, whatever. So Spooky Jolene, Bedford Falls Babe, my at Joleen Lunzer, my married the number 2 Bravo, which is so close to 10,000 followers. Well, it's like, let's be honest, it's over 1,000, but that's pretty damn close. And that used to be a really big thing. A couple years ago, you had to hit 10K on Instagram because then you could do the swipe up and you were cool. Okay. So I've been trying to do more content on there because that is a monetized Instagram. So they pay me for reels, which is really cool. I enjoy it, but sometimes I can't find the time to make all this content, you guys, and I feel like a slacker. Daddy's Disappointment says, whoa, the guy who plays Prince Charles, Dominic West, was caught kissing Lily James. What? Okay, played Pam Anderson in the Pam and Tommy Hulu show. That woman looked just like Pam Anderson, P.S. But his poor wife. Another actor showing their true colors. Oh my goodness. I think they've merged. So it is Jury. Yeah, R.I.P. Treetopia. Oh my God, when Busy tackled the tree, that was hilarious. Thank you, Renee, for sharing that link. Jamie B, we can't be friends until you see It's a Wonderful Life. I'm going to put you on pause, like Lisa Rinna should be, until you watch it. And I know you're going to watch it. Well, I don't know. I have a feeling you'll watch it and have the same reaction as Busy, like, this sucks. But maybe not. It's a classic. I just found out my friend Katie hasn't seen it either. And we went to this awesome exhibit. It was a Vincent van Gogh, like, I want to say interactive experience, but not interactive. Well, kind of, was it interactive? I forgot exactly what it was called. But we Van Gogh'd to this little thing, and her 2 little daughters came, and they're so cute. And they had watched Tilly while I was out of town, so I gave them these little squishmallows from Tilly. And then I got my friend Katie this cool RBG bag because she's a teacher. So it was like a great teacher bag, canvas with Ruth Bader Ginsburg on it, just looking like a badass. And I got her a gift card, just to say thank you. And I told the girls that, it was from Tilly, because Tilly actually scratched one of the adorable children, because Tilly is like Wu-Tang Clan. She ain't nothing to fuck with, okay? And poor little Finn, who's the sweetest little girl, was so excited to watch my cat. She told her mom, my friend Katie, she said, it's always been my dream to watch a cat. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I can make her sweet dream come true. Okay. How old did I say she is? Is Finn? Finn is 6 because she's just a year older than Frankie. Maybe she's going to be 7. And then Tilly, she's a friend to one. It's me, and to Chell and a couple other people. But children, she's used to my little nephew Frankie, who just kind of, But Finn is very soft and I guess went in to kind of like pet her until he was hiding under the bed. And sure enough, Tilly scratched her. And I was like, oh, Tilly. So I had to apologize on Tilly's behalf, and we had to get Squishmallows because that's all the rage. If you don't know, if you don't have any little ones in your life, they're like pillow people when I was little. So they're basically just like a little pillow, squishy, a lot cuter than pillow people. Because I remember, do you guys remember pillow people? It was just a square pillow. And then they'd be like, this is Jan. They threw some, pigtails on her. This is Bob. He's got a mustache. But everyone wanted a pillow person. A little creepy, but now they've updated to Squishmallows, and they're softer and cute and all the good stuff. Thank you, Renee. Yeah. Thank you for sharing all my Instas. Good evening. All of this drama should be an email. Oh my gosh, you must explain the username. I think I get it, but feel free to explain in the chat. I love it. Care Bear says, Joleen, any fun plans in Cali? Toucan Sam, to do for my birthday next year. Oh, I've never seen. Oh, I've a beach or an ocean before, and I want to go before the apocalypse comes. Oh, that's coming too. Yeah, and Swaziland. Oh my God, all the fun places. Hit me up in the Instagram DMs, and I'll tell you places. Are you looking for like SoCal? Because NorCal, the beaches are beautiful. I mean, It's not going to be the same beach experience, but it's gorgeous. I love Northern California too. Love Southern California. And anyone in the chat who wants to put their favorite place. I was just watching the Kristen Cavallari and Steven, whatever his last name is, Laguna Beach rewatch podcast, which I'm now obsessed with. Because for their last finale episode, they had Lauren Conrad on there, and Kristen and Lauren both apologized to each other for slut shaming each other when they were teenagers. And it was so therapeutic to hear for some reason. And it's actually a really good podcast. And you learn a lot about these kids that were, thrust into this reality show and had no idea the impact it was going to have, or how the editing worked, or how any of that produced non-scripted television works. And to hear them now speak as adults, it's actually really interesting. So Laguna. And Lauren Conrad did say, and I've been to Laguna Beach a few times, there are secret beaches and coves and all this stuff. And she was talking about how there was an influx, an increase in tourism that happened because of the show. And there was a lot of kind of pushback, and she received some flack. She is, I think, the only cast member from the first season that lives back in Laguna of the main cast. And so, and that was because before then, people didn't realize that because it wasn't always just this privileged, rich area. It was actually, they were saying, like an artist's town. And it just has these beautiful coves and hidden beaches and things. And then once Laguna came on the air, and they said specifically once Instagram came about and things could be geotagged, that's when people started going and just pissing off the locals. And I will tell you, I was one of those people. I definitely, in the late 2000s, mid to late, I had to go to Laguna Beach, and because I had watched Laguna and then Now the Hills at that time, and I was like, well, I want to see what the hoopla is about, and it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. So, you want a hotel near the beach with good Mexican food? You probably got to go to San Diego. Probably got to go. Don't go to Santa Monica. It smells like pee. I do love Santa Monica, and I do love peeing, but oh God, Santa Monica it's a struggle bus. Where was I? Oh, I was in Carlsbad recently. Carlsbad's gorgeous, by the way. And they do have good Mexican. That could be a good place for you to go because it's near San Diego and near LA, where you could drive if you rented a car. But you could also just stay there because it's a cute little beach town. There is an army base there. I don't know if that encourages you or discourages you from going. But it's a cute little town, but it's so like not pee smelling that I was like, is this a beach? Because I had lived in LA so long that most of the beaches, it's like you have to cross you have to cross the highway to get to the actual sand, unless you drive down the highway and just park, I guess, in one of the lots, which isn't always easy to find parking. So you'd have to walk across the highway, down these staircases, over this little bridge, and every corner of the staircases smells like piss. And every parking structure smells like piss. For some reason, people just piss in the staircases. It's their favorite place to piss, So, all this, yes. Oh, you get it. All of them. You guys, oh my God. Yes, Venice Beach. Venice Beach is really cool and super fun. So, but it probably a little pee smelling, but that is where Joseph was when he was on the rings. So doing the little rings, I believe he was in Venice. Okay. And listen to Daddy's Disappointment. Do you know I've never been to Santa Barbara? And that is a travesty, and I have to go. I have to go. Okay. Oh my gosh. Ventura County. Yep. Gorge. Hello. I'll be like the drum jazz. Hey, Shining Light. She's a bitch. I hate her. Hey, Brooke L. Hi. My daughter is 20 and had me looking for Squishmallows. Squishmallows are ageless. I want a Squishmallow now. They're so soft and they're so cute. And I love them. They're way better than pillow people, but I did love a pillow person back in the day. I did. And I had one. Okay. Had a talking Pamela doll and a Cabbage Patch. Oh, I loved Cabbage Patch. Loved it. Andrew says, I'm a NorCal girl, Sacramento, but can't lie, San Diego is my absolute favorite part of California. It is really beautiful. It's so, and honestly, it sounds cuckoo. Well, no, it doesn't sound cuckoo. I never thought I'd say this, but if I had a lot of money, I would live in Carlsbad full time. Me and Chell just love it. I don't know why we love it so much, but it was one of those places that we just, when we know we want to go to a beautiful beach and not get peed on, that's where we go. Now, if we want to get peed on, we can pick a lot of other beaches, but we just really love Carlsbad. But I have heard people say not nice stuff about it, but the town itself is cute. You can find little shops to go in. You know, there's a little corporate-y, and then there's also the little mom and pop shops that you can shop in and get cute accessories, clothes, trinkets, stuff like that. Good restaurants, great avocado toast, oat milk just flowing. You want oat milk in your latte? Carlsbad's gonna give it to you, you know? So you could probably book. I do know someone that books in Santa Barbara too. So I should do it. And Solvang, I want to go to since I've seen it on The Housewives. Okay. I do. Now getting back to, I think I had, where was it? I had all this drama should be an email thing up. Okay, yes. I know there's a Legoland there. There's a Legoland. Yeah, encourage outside of LA unless you're like looking for the Hollywood experience to see celebrities and stuff. But these, so update on this stuff, okay? Super cuckoo. Everyone in DramaTube it's this time of year, I tell you, they're losing their minds. They're like, I'm getting an RO, no, I'm getting an RO. And I don't know if you guys saw this. Those of you that pay a little attention to DramaTube, there was a Maria versus Maria battle last night. And it was amazing. It was disgustingly amazing. It was the worst thing I've ever seen and also the best thing I've ever seen. It was horrible and magnificent. And it was both, it was like evil versus evil. The devil meets the devil, you know? The devil wears Costco meets the devil wears dollar store. It was Lumberjack Maria versus Momo Maria. And both, I didn't expect Lumberjack. If you missed it, go to, I just happened to catch it because, you know, when I'm decorating, so I'm decorating for Christmas and you'll see it, I'll post it on Instagram and then maybe do a video. I like to have something in the old ear, and I was getting caught up on some housewife stuff. And I thought, well, let's see what these weirdos are doing. And I see Momo. She's still fighting with that Johnny Return of the Mac and Dofi. So she was just, I think she was talking, and then she was talking about Jay Hates. She was like, oh, I'm getting an RO. And I love how Momo is now, she's going to be the voice of reason. No one has ever thought this before, but she's like, have you guys ever thought that maybe JY needs to be canceled? Have you guys ever thought that he's hurting women? Have you ever thought that it's wrong that he uses the C word? Have you ever thought that? I was like, yeah, Momo, since the moment I saw his foam, since the day, the second, the minute I saw him foaming at the mouth, have you guys ever thought he takes advantage of women? Yes, Momo. Yes, we all have. You were too busy being his friend, and then being his enemy, and then being his friend again, and now back to his enemy. So miss us with this lecture you're going to give us. And then Johnny Return of the Mac. So this guy's from MobberTuber, you know, from the Mob Wives Tube. And people say, oh, no, it's MobTube. No, it's Mob Wives, okay? Because these dudes they're not hard. I'd be more scared of one of the Mob Wives, okay? So they have to be like Mob Wives rejects, okay? So the Mob Wives rejects, this Johnny Return of the Mac. He never left 1999. It's stapled, tattooed to his face. Good for him. Good for you, sir. You get you some, okay? He is every day lecturing us. Oh my God. Every time he goes live. You guys, this is how YouTube is. This is how it is. People do, no, Johnny Return of the Mac. Is it? We know. We're not stupid. If anyone's watching any of that crap, we've seen some shit go down before. We've seen some shit. Okay? So this guy just comes in. He's like, oh, listen, I'm going to put my sunglasses on. I'm going to tell you a story. People are crazy. People will come after you. A lot goes on behind the scenes here at YouTube. Okay? People go after people's family. What? People go after people's kids. Who? Momo? People go real life. Not RL. And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy. See, I'm gonna need half a GED before you tell me anything. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm just gonna need to see some kind of certification that you're fully present here, sir. But God bless him. God bless him and his beautiful family. So he, is now he's teamed up with JY. JY says, I'll give you, because he was teamed up with the squirrel girl. Oh, Squirrely is, goodness gracious. And the fact that any of these people are on sides, I'm just like, what are you doing? All these people are not healthy. The squirrel did like a 2-day live stream. It was like 67 hours or something, 19 hours, where she just went off because someone interviewed someone named Lily, who the lady Lily, that I don't know anything about her other than she went to Terry Lynn's house and said she recorded things and there were GUNSs under her couch. That's all I remember, okay? She interviewed the squirrels, single white squirrels, love of her life. The guy who's in jail for something. I didn't look at the charges. I don't care, okay? His sister. She was like, how could you? And she started yelling, and then Sailor Moon started yelling. They got into it for some reason. I don't know how that's connected. I can't keep up with everything. But then more stuff happened there, and now that Terry lady is now with Single White Squirrel, even though they used to hate each other. It's just a flip-flop anonymous. Put your flip-flops on, okay? Put your flippy-floppies on, okay? Rabbit. And she'll take anything and twist it. I mean, on Sip and Key, I said, I did think how she responded to JY when he was like, drop a link. And she was like, no, thank you. I don't need you. I like that because that's how everyone should respond. Sailor Moon should have never let JY on her channel. Just, I don't care. That's my opinion. She took that and she was like, low key, Sip and Key, give me a shout out. Oh my God. I would never do that. What do I look like, a monster? And I've heard her say it multiple times now. Well, even Joleen said, okay, first of all, forget what I say. You're not listening. This isn't for you. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, this doesn't mean I think you're right in any way. And then something transpired between Zeusser and his niece and this 55-year-old lady, the squirrel, where she told a young woman whose mother is and I heard the live. I heard the live. These women, I don't understand. I just will never understand how these women who are old as fuck, like I'm old as fuck, we're all old. It's fine. We're aging. That's natural. We're supposed to do that. It's great. We're supposed to get better with age. They're getting worser and worser. Okay. So her, and then there was this housewives lady who's been in like they all say, you're in the community. I'm going to take panel. It's like, well, they have the weirdest terms, right? And then you have these people like this housewives who's a sub but loves to get on panel and talk shit. And then when they're called out for it, they're like, we are attacking subscribers. No, you're a cuckoo bananas lady who sounds like she has 4 teeth who is attacking a teenager. So we found out that Zeus or Deucer has took custody or took in a niece because his sister, her mom, had addiction issues. Tragic, sad, horrible, coming from addiction myself, being an addict, having parents who are alcoholics, horrible. No, it's just you have so much empathy for this young girl. They decide to attack her, tell her, well, maybe you're the reason your mom left. Just these things you would never say. And these lonely, squirrel-eating sad, miserable ex-felons are telling this teenage girl horrible. And you got this housewives lady who's like, she literally sounds like that. She's like, you may be your mom. I'm gonna. And then they said they're gonna find her mom and ask her and interview her, all because this squirrel lady was triggered from an interview of a guy she dated who was accused of like being a PIMP, PIMPology, but logically be learning these house biology. Honestly, well, something like that. I don't know. I don't know if he was in PoPimp. I don't know, you guys. Okay, we joke, but we also crazy, right? All because someone interviewed his sister. And this squirrel is so bananas, BANANAS, that she is like, we were gonna get married, maybe. I got this apartment for him. And I'm like, is she? Oh my God. When I did my squirrel impression back in the day when, she was involved with the JY, I mean, that's exactly how it is. It is like the most erratic conversation you've ever heard listening to this woman talk. It's sick. It's erratic. It's immature. It's crazy. And it's crazy that anyone would support that. This miserable lady eating her enemy's cheesecake alone in a studio apartment. It's just with cats crying in the background. And squirrel, we got another customer. I mean, it's really. And just when you think she can't go lower, she'll dig up a grave. She'll dig up a body and eat it. It's bananas. So she was, and she's like, well, if you're going to play with the big dogs, you better learn. Listen, you are old enough to be her grandmother. She's a teenager. You're supposed to be better. Zeuser, yeah, weird that he even talks to his niece about this stupid community. It's weird that Zeus exists in the community, in their little community. It's weird. He's weird. I think he's a weird dude. But by no means did his niece deserve for these old, decrepit, sad ladies to blame her for her mom's addiction and say such awful things and say maybe she left because of you and throw that in her face. She's like, she called us a hag. Isn't that what you are? Isn't that what JY's current and former followers call themselves? Isn't that what it is? I mean, come on. Thanks for the first super chat. I don't know what you heard about me, but I'm a motherfucking PIMP. I mean, for real. I just like spiraling. Yeah, I mean, yes. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Yes, PoPimp. I just every time I hear her talk about him, I'm just like PIMPology, but logically, me learning these house biology. Honestly, pulled up in a CADILL, pub AC. Well, they keep those. I don't even know what the words are. They think that automatically that he's a pimp. He gotta be full of that MONE. But why? PoPimp was so good. Okay, but she was a spiraling. It isn't a community. It's a circus, right? Spiraling and saying, we were going to be together. Like, we weren't married, but like, we loved each other. And it's like interviewing family. And he has kids. Okay, so he has kids. So you're attacking kids. This woman makes no sense. I don't understand why anyone subscribed to her. Other than, I understand if you're like hiding in the bushes. I feel like if you listen to someone like this person, you should have shame. Because I know every time I've tuned in, and I hadn't tuned into the squirrel in a long time, because when she left the JY stuff, I was like, boring, bring a book. But I do remember her saying truly awful things about me when we were doing the parodies. I remember her saying she was going to contact my sponsor, just like a real wackadoo, I let it go. She was just fighting for the nurse, and, the nurse alleged drunk driving, and they were mad that, we parodied this craziness, and she was just so offended. She used to really like us, but not anymore. And, so going and listening now that the drama has restarted with all these crazy people since they had mob wives enter, I feel shame. I feel guilt listening to this woman. I feel like, God, I hope no one ever knows that I've listened to this woman speak alone in her apartment next to a radiator on a card table with no pants on, says Jen Bailey. Okay? I'm ashamed that I know Jen Bailey's name. I'm ashamed that I can tell you the differences between Momo Maria and Lumberjack Maria. And you should be ashamed. We should all be ashamed. Okay? I have not watched it, but I want to. Where can I watch this? Where can I watch I Am a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? I would love that. Okay, like eating the squirrels. I think she ate the squirrel's brains. Something happened. Geneva says, it's surprising to me the people in this community. Right? She's Trey Grosso. I mean, live for, where are her friends? Are there any pictures posted with friends? I hear her say, oh, my friend, blah, blah, blah. And I have a feeling she's one of those people who's like, if she knows you exist and she follows you, she's like, you're my friend. You don't know, but you're my friend. I will call you my friend. And if you ever betray me, I will be mad. And I will stalk you. It's pretty clear something's going on. She's off. It's off. But kind of also not. Because I feel like she's always, as long as I've known about her, which is once she teamed up with JY more recently. Not now, but, within the past year when she all of a sudden was like a really hardcore hag. I feel like she's been like this. And she's obsessed with Brooke. Obsessed with the nurse lady. Obsessed. I can just hear now that I don't even know what's going on over there, but you can tell she wants to be her friend again. She's just like, yeah, well, I remember one time the nurse told me, and the nurse said this, and the nurse said, oh my God, it was so funny. The nurse did this, and I don't think the nurse would do that. And so she's low-key sticking up for her. She's sprinkling the little dust. She's sprinkling her PIMP game, her pimpology. She's sprinkling her po-pimp juice all over the place, like, Nursey, come home. But apparently she says, I don't even care. Lolly Rod, whatever that lady's name is, okay, who has always makes sure to get her tots up in the video, that Lolly lady, Lolly Blue. She's a character too, right? Where'd she come from? She was on JY's live one day saying Terry Lynn's got guns under her couch, and then she went to Costa Rica or something, and now she's finally back. She just dipped out. She went into witness protection, and now she's back, okay? So, she's like, Lolly Blues, her interviewing my maybe possibly one day husband, even though we broke up and he was a pimp. No, NBD, he technically wasn't, but he was, but he wasn't. But his sister, but he doesn't even talk to his sister. Anyways, it backfired because now we're talking every day. So now me and Popimp, P-I-M-P-ology, but logically, we talk every day. So I guess that didn't work for you. Let me read the text. He said, hey, babe, can you send me some money? Oh, wait, no. And then he did heart face, smiley face. And then he asked about the squirrels. He asked about the pregnant one. There's one that's pregnant. I am going to deliver the babies. So don't worry. I have experience. I've watched lots of squirrel birthing videos on YouTube, and I've eaten one. Anyways, so I'm going to do that. And he says, hey, please don't kill me. That's just like a little cute thing we said to each other, not to kill each other, no big deal. Then this other text, he was like, good morning, I'm scared of you. And I was like, oh my God. Again, inside joke, you guys don't get it, but I can't help it. I can't turn my feelings off. Like, I love him. He's like so great. Anyways, what's going on? I'm going to drop a link. It's insane. It's insane. Okay. Yeah, everyone see what you guys are saying. Expect them to be friends again by Valentine's Day. She really has not changed. She's the same as when she first came around, and the bashing of that young lady and the victim blaming. Oh, it's horrible. It's disgusting. Unfollowed most of them in order to understand everyone's beef. You have to watch the 20-hour lives just to hear a 3-second insult. I know, it sucks. Thank you, Cassandra. I enjoyed taking you guys along to my show. I want to do more of that because I love you all so much. So much. The nurse gave props to Squirrel. Yes, because they're setting it up. The nursey poo she don't really like Squirrely because Nursey Pooh's like, I'm too good for her, but I'm going to keep her around because the nurse likes to get dirty. She likes to get dirty without gloves on, without a mask, no gloves. She likes to get dirty down in the dirt, and someone like the squirrel will get dirty for her. So the nurse loves to be surrounded by, just from my observation of her being JY's apologist for this long, she loves to have people there who will literally fight for her. But when it comes time for her to do anything, she won't because she can't. She's scared. She a big time. She's like, I'm scared. I can't. I can't. So she wasn't even going to go after. If anything, if she's Zeus or Deucer's friend, she should be condemning hardcore what Single White Squirrel did to Zeus's little niece. But their logic was, you shouldn't bring her into the community, Zeus, or she shouldn't be in my chat. Just block her. What is wrong with you? If a teenager is in your chat, if children are trying to watch you, you block them. You don't address them. I had kids following me for Big Brother, and there was someone finally, I just had to be like, I can't. Like, I know I'm covering Big Brother, but I'm also like, they were like, hey, I have homework tomorrow. And I'm thinking, like, in high school? And they were like, oh, middle school or something. It was some crazy grade where I was like, I'm sorry, sweetie. Like, I can't have you here. There's too many adults. It's not safe. So I blocked them. That's all I did. Okay? Now, if a teenager is popping off on you in the chat, you know what you do? You ignore it and you block. And problem solved. Okay, but they flip everything. Everything's flipped. It's not my fault I'm an asshole who attacks teenagers. I had trauma. A guy that I dated for half a second who may or may not have been a pimp, that I may or may not have helped be a pimp. Sister was interviewed. Oh, and he's got fish. And those fish could have heard the interview. Oh, and they're goldfish. And you know they don't live long. Or betas, whatever. And they're in together. It's horrible. Oh my God. You know, and so this housewife, who's horrible, I don't care if she apologized. What a horrible, horrible woman. What a horrible, horrible woman. She says, I think maybe. It's literally how she was talking. And I'm thinking, what? What are you talking to this teenager for? And belittling her and trying to insult her and insinuate that she's somehow having relations with her uncle, which they did as well. When I don't understand. When you have two molars and nothing else in your mouth, I don't know what's going on. And yeah, so they were like, she's 17. She's 17. And then Zeus or Deucer was like, hey, we about to go in the bush. Whatever we do in Canada, it's called the bush. I don't know what the bush is, but apparently maybe that's a forest. He was like, we're about to go in the bush. But just want to tell you guys that she's actually 19 or 18. And they're like, prove it. Yeah, prove it. So you have her, Terry Lamb, and Housewives lady. Is it Housewives of Chaos or something? Housewives of Go to Fucking Bed. That's what it should be every day. Get off live. What's wrong with you? You're a monster. They're yelling at, prove it. So then Zeus or Deucer, not very bright, he goes, okay, I'll tell you, this is her care card. And all I'm thinking is, oh, I'm so jealous. Canadians get automatic health care, you know. And then they're like, we can't see it. And I can't believe you're about to dox your niece. And he's like, I'm covering up the name. And I'm thinking, you just asked him to do that. That's why you can't communicate with these people. That's why I had a team no one, no contact with any of these characters, because they don't make any sense. And this is what they do. So they immediately then attack him. Well, you shouldn't bring her in there. She's 17. And he's like, no, she's 18. We're going to the bush. We're eating Burger King. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you fed her Burger King. You're horrible, Dad. You're probably doing it to her. And it's like, what are you talking about? You weird ladies. So your logic then is, she's 18. That's what Zeus or Deucer said. And this young lady, that's what she said. She's that old as well. So you guys think it's okay to harass a 17-year-old, because a 17-year-old will pop off and say things because they're teenagers. And that's how that works. That's why we're the adults and we don't engage. So you're totally fine with putting down and harassing a teenager because in your emotionally immature minds, you think, well, shouldn't come at me. Don't want none, won't be none, or don't do none, won't. I don't know, PIMPology, but logically, okay? That's their logic. You started it, but you're 57 years old, squirrely. There has to be a time. Open up the AARP magazine, great magazine, BTW. You probably get it in the mail. Check it. I'm sure there is a section on we're getting older and we're getting angrier. What do we do to calm down? Meditate. Unplug the router. Go to bed. You shouldn't have enemies. No one over the age of 12 should have an enemy. That should be a thing. Little kids, where they're like, oh gosh, they fight with each other or something. Like it's a silly little thing. Unless you're a superhero, a child, or let's say that's it. Superhero and children are the only people that get to have enemies. Because it's a very cuckoo thing to be 59 and say, my sad, you're sad. Man, it's all bullshit. It's bananas. Okay, thank you, JS. Yeah, go get a vibrator. Go do something nice for your clitoris. And I feel like that will do wonders. Okay. Oh, this is great. Okay, so I watched this live in real time. So I love the spin cycle you get after all these lives. But I watched this in real time, okay? So the minute Zeus Deucer takes panel with single white squirrel, she's talking about his dick. Because apparently, I didn't see this live, but apparently Zeus or Deucer got drunk with Momo and Broken on Blast, the nurse, and the Scottish egg, and Mrs. Doubtfire. And he was like humping the camera, and I saw a clip on Reddit where he was like, I don't even have a dick. And I was like, that sounds interesting. Me neither. Fun. But so yeah, apparently he did that. And that then, well, anyways, so the squirrel, the minute he was up, she just immediately started talking about his genitals. And I thought, well, that's weird. She made several comments about his genitals, and he was like, why are you making comments about my genitals? And again, they're both trash. Both of them, Zeus or the Deucer and Squirrel Girl, trash. Don't care for either of them. But she was talking about his genitals over and over and over again. And then he made a crude comment about putting his genitals in her mouth, which, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that these people in the drama tube say to each other. Esma D, put this in your da-da-da. And she immediately took victim mode. You triggered me. You're harassing me. And it's like, you just described his genitals like 50 different ways. And then he's like, I don't remember exactly what he said. It was all gross. Like, no one is the victim in that. You're both disgusting. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so triggered. I'm triggered. Thank you, Diana Lee, for the super chat. Second super chat of the live says, I don't know. Following birches. They are birches. Oh my gosh. I imagine Zeus he always just struck me as creepy, not creepy like what they've accused him of, because that's way too far right now. But just, why are you hanging out with Momo? Why are you in your early 30s and hanging out with Broken on Blast, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Momo? Like, why do you want to spend your time that way? Okay. That's about when I left the chat. I told the girl to chat with the doctor about HB. Yes. So apparently this all stemmed because the niece, who doesn't have, a mother figure, because she's been in and out of rehab, and since I believe they said has left rehab and has had no contact with this young girl, which is truly sad. And again, addiction is just not the thing that any of these people should be using to hurt one another. Because I'm going to, as an alcoholic myself, I'm going to go out on a limb and say all of these people are addicts, whether it is, alcohol, drugs, the internet, they all, because Momo professed today that she's never had any addiction in her family. Her family's perfect. Momo, you have an internet addiction. You have a drama addiction to the point where your family's called it out. So, yeah, you're not, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why she thinks anyone's going to, buy that bill of goods. Yeah, she's like, it's great. It's fine. It's great. Family. So it was just, oh, my husband's home. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry, I had to say hi to my lovely husband. Okay. So, well, I mean, I don't know. They all have addictive personalities. I mean, come on. Come on. So the young girl, she apparently Deucer post or showed her or talked about a pregnancy test or reached out to some of the women and maybe on a live asked what this means on a pregnancy test because the young girl took a pregnancy test and not having, I mean, that kind of stuff is really interesting as a young girl because you don't really understand how your body works. Do you like the tree, Joe?
Yeah. Are we gonna move it to where your desk is? Once we move your desk?
We might, yeah.
Because John's gonna be walking.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe moving the couch over. We can talk about it, but do you think it's beautiful, right?
It's really cool.
Thank you so much. It's the first time he's seeing the tree I finished today. Okay, so as a young woman, I mean, even as a woman, it's like the vagina is, it's amazing, but it's also like, oh my gosh, bring a book. Like you really have to like, I gotta get a Venn diagram or whatever that is. And there's so many things that we're not encouraged to as women to know about our bodies. We're not encouraged to talk about menstruation, which is something that most of us will have or do for such a long period of our life. no, no period pun intended, but for real. And something that it can be very debilitating to some women and something that we're just expected to be quiet about. But it's the one thing that because we menstruate, because we of menstruation, that's the reason everyone's here. It's this magical pain that we have to go through, whether we choose to have children or not. And we're told not to talk about it. We're told it's gross, it's yucky, it's ill, you know? And so it just always amazes me that people are surprised when young women, older women, any age of woman is asking questions about their bodies because it there's so much that we're not allowed to speak on. And I always say if men had their periods, they'd get 3 to 4 days off a month. We would have National Period Awareness Day. It would be a whole thing. But we're just expected to do everything, do it actually better, get paid less while bleeding. Like we're just, well, you better grin and bear it, sweetheart. So it's really amazing. And and there's so many things. There's some women that don't get their periods. There's all these things that we don't know, and we're learning so much about, like, I think like PCOS is it, which one of the teen mom girls suffer from, endometriosis, which can be very debilitating, which I never heard of until I had a friend who had it. Because we don't talk about it. So the fact that this young girl didn't know things, even if her mom was present, she might still not know. But that's kind of why they were reaching out to women. And him being a guy and being her current guardian, he didn't. He's like, I don't know about this stuff. I guess I'll reach out to them. And that's their prerogative. If she, as an 18-year-old, was okay with him talking about that, then that's no one's business but their own. And so I really felt for her on that. Put it on the table. I'll find it. I forget where I put the charger for our Apple Watches. As you can see, Chell, I have a lot to do tonight to get this living room in order. It is. Oh, you found it. Okay. Never mind. You should just see my living room. It is just glitter everywhere. It's like a Kesha concert. It's a mess. It's Kesha and strippers and awesome. Yes, Tampax would be sponsoring the NFL if men got their periods. Oh my God, there would be Blood Awareness Day where you could just go smear it and bear it, grin and smear it or something. It would be amazing. Margaret Cho used to do a bit about men having their periods, and she's like, you go to a guy's apartment, it looked like a murder scene, So, and it was so funny, this bit she used to do about it. But there would, I mean, that's just the difference, pre-kids, post-kids, pre-menopause, post-menopause changes. The woman's body is always changing. Yes, daddy's disappointment. And our hormone, I mean, everything is affected. And there's so much not talked about with menopause, and there's so much not talked about with pre-menopausal women. It's just, we just don't talk about it because we're just expected to, well, maybe one of your friends will tell you about it. So I wasn't surprised in the least that this teenager did not know about her body. What's wrong?
Where's the charger that was on your desk? Because I had it in my bag, and I'd like to take it to work tomorrow.
Oh, it's underneath. Or maybe it's in the kitchen. Oh, sorry, everybody. We're speaking hot, sexy, married people talk. Where's the phone charger? Oh, I have to use it too, though. Actually, I think I'm going to switch over to my computer. Oh, yeah, I have a lot of chargers everywhere because I'm just always dying. I know, I'm not always the best at sharing. I like to just have my stuff. It's my stuff. Actually, I'm a really good share. I just do that thing you do where you self-deprecating. Anyways, so when this young woman talked about that, or this teenager, they were like, "Why are you doing this on the internet?" It's like, okay, you guys are the queens of mind your own business. Let's mind our own business. All right. You don't have to be Captain Save a Teenager because you're already harassing this young woman. So they were so appalled by him doing that, which is none of their business. And maybe you should worry more about, what your love of your life is doing or going to do post prison, or what you could do to be a better human, or the squirrels. Okay. And so they were attacking her because of that. And it was very heartbreaking because she said, well, I didn't have a mom, so I didn't know. And there was no empathy from any of those women. And that one lady who goes live for 3 days straight, the TL lady, I'm pretty sure she has daughters. And I'm just like, why would you be up there? Why wouldn't you say something for this girl? Pretty gross. And they just attacked her. They just, well, you were talking about us. You know what? People are going to talk about you. And you have to be the bigger person because you're an adult and she's a teenager. Okay? But they don't know that. Anything to them is content. Anything to them is fair game, which makes it really, really disgusting. I mean, these women are just, they're atrocious. I don't know if I've been more disgusted by women in this community than, or their circus, whatever they call themselves, than I was with these ladies. And to know that there were grandmas and shit, it was just really sad. It was sad that this young woman has to, this teenager has to deal with these kind of women. You just know better. You do not, this isn't, the fact that they want to be like, don't start now, won't be none. You want to play with the big dogs, honey. You are not a big dog. This teenager has already out succeeded you. Okay, it's not that difficult to do. So she's already shown more couth, more emotional maturity, more everything than you've ever had in your entire life. While you eat this cheesecake from your enemy's enemy. It's like insane. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to my computer, so hopefully there's not too big of an issue because I do have to. Let me shut my cam off because this is sexy. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna boot myself out here, and then we're gonna just go from the computer. All right, let me take myself down. Oh, shit. Okay, and we're back. We're back. I'm plugging in my phone, so now I'm back. Okay. Sorry about that horrible sound you guys probably had to hear. And now I can see the comments better because I'm at my desktop. Oh, yay. Let's see. Yeah, sad situation all around. Hi, Jacqueline. Is that an Aquarius thing? Stingy. My husband is like that. No, I think I'm just like the most giving person, actually. Care Bear says my period and hormones and because caused by fibromatosis to flare and fibroids to multiply. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I've been night sweating for years, so I feel like I'm like somewhere in pre. Yep. Yeah, we still go to work and deal with the pain, the bleeding, fatigue, bloat, mood changes, brain fog. Horrible. Just bleeding and bearing it. All of this drama should be an email, says I have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's both a hormonal imbalance and an insulin-resistant illness. Frequently is the reason for obesity, facial hair, and infertility. I had no idea what PCOS was until Macy from Teen Mom, which I don't really keep up on Teen Mom, but when the episodes that I've watched in the last couple of years, I've seen that she's been talking a lot about that. And so I think it was good just to get awareness. Daddy's disappointment says, shit, I'm 43 and sad in my gyno's office yesterday talking to him for an hour about my body and periods changing over 40, right? There's just so much we don't know. But that was like truly a disgusting display. I think I entered an alternate universe. Joleen, do that sound again. Was it the horrible sound? It was like, squish, 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 squish. Sly says, I have tumors. It's painful as F, and they get bigger. I love that everyone's sharing because there's so much that we don't talk about. We don't even know sometimes from our own friends. And maybe the younger generation, my friend Nicole, she's a hilarious comedian. She has a teenage daughter, and she said she's inspired by that generation because they're much more open and talking about things and body positivity and accepting themselves and things. So maybe this younger generation is talking more about it, but definitely we were not encouraged to speak about this, even with our friends, anything with our bodies. So yeah, even thinking about the period is not fun. I know it's coming up, and I know I got off birth control years ago, and my PMS all of a sudden was horrible again, and my cramps are horrible again. And now, because when I was on birth control, I feel like a lot of those symptoms they were very light. I don't remember having a lot of cramps, or maybe I just got used to it. But when I got off birth control, oh my gosh, I notice it now. When I get my period, it's damn near debilitating. The cramps I feel, the bloating, and then the days before or the week before, just my mood in general. I just know I have my period tracker on my phone. I'm like, oh shit, here she comes, here she comes, here she comes one more time, and I'm not feeling fine. Here we go. Yes, 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 here we go. Joleen is getting the flow, So it's just like the worst, best in sync song you've ever. I have never talked to my doctor about PCOS, so maybe I should, because I just had an annual in the spring. So on my next one, maybe I'll talk about that because it's really painful, and it reminds me of when I was younger. Obviously a teenager before I was on birth control, how painful it was. So my oldest daughter is 9, and I swear hers is. Oh no, poor baby. She's gone from sweet baby girl to demonic hormonal terror. I feel so. Ugh. And that's the thing, you can get, my best friend, she got her period, we were like 10 or 11, and we were like, what's going on? And I didn't get mine till 14. And I remember just thinking, oh God, I need to get it. Everybody has it. It was like this rite of passage I wanted so bad. Then once I got it, I'm like, ooh, I could have done without this for a long time. A long time. Daddy's disappointment says he diagnosed me with adenomyosis yesterday. Adenomyosis. So I get to have a biopsy done. Oh my gosh. And an IUD placed, the first one, perforated my uterus. Oh, goodness God.
there needs to be more research into all the things that women go through, because that's crazy. Oh my gosh, I'm about to get my period. Oh yeah, speaking of Luther Vandross, I always put Luther Vandross and Alexander O'Neill in the same category. And every time we're in the car and Alexander O'Neill's playing, and it was playing recently, me and Chell are driving, and he knows. We were driving back from my show at the Improv, and he knows I'm going to sing it because it reminds me of my mom. Because maybe that was when my mom was about to menstruate when I was young. She would just put on the Alexander O'Neill. Was it Luther or Alexander O'Neill that sang "Never Too Much, Never Too Much, Never Too Much"? I gotta look it up now. Dun 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 dun. Never too much. Oh, that's Luther. Never too much, never too much. What's the song that I just heard by Alexander O'Neill? And Nana loved Alexander O'Neill. Like, it was Luther Vandross and Alexander O'Neill. And I can't even think of the song that I just heard, but if the songs come on, I just know them because I just remember Nana in her, getting ready for work or off of work, and in her, like, stockings or whatever you call them, pantyhose, just curling her hair, singing that shit. Okay. Oh, 11. Oh my God. Yeah, 11 is rough. It's a rough. 1 week before your 12th birthday? Ugh. A lot of 14-year-olds. I was like, maybe I'm not going to get it. Maybe it's just not going to happen. So, birth control, yes. I liked it. First, they put me on orthotricycline, and it was a nightmare. And I've heard from a lot of my friends since that happened to them too. Because again, we didn't talk about it until finally someone brought up, like, oh, I didn't like that because I didn't need so much hormone levels. So tricycline, I think my understanding is there's 3 hormone levels in that. And I just needed orthocycline, like 1 level, because the 3, I would be in hysterics with that. And I didn't know. And that was the first birth control they put me on, until finally I thought, well, maybe this is just how I am. This is just me, And I was, in my early 20s, and it was crazy. And it wasn't until I think I dealt with that for a while before I finally asked the doctor, is this normal? Should I be this? And they're like, no, it's probably too much hormones. Because I already was, like, not to brag, but I was already hormoning out enough. Okay. So yeah, it's crazy. Thanks, Diana Lee. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, so hearing that young girl not know, and then they shamed her. I couldn't believe it. A lady who is in love with a pimp, P-I-M-P-L-G. Another one who sounds like she has a goat in her mouth. And another one who is up for days going live about God knows what, because I think she went live when she had her appendix removed or something. I'm not sure. We're shaming this girl. Like, oh my God, because they're like, well, the single white squirrel was like, oh, why do you need a pregnancy test? First of all, mind your business. How dare? That's one thing where Zeus is such an idiot to let this, to go on live with these women with the niece in the background. That's something where he should not have let that happen. I would never let my niece know about these idiots. Never. And or let these idiots even get the pleasure of talking to anyone I love. And that is when they were just like, what do you need it for? What do you need it for? And this young woman said, well, I missed my period and I was having sex with my boyfriend. They're like, oh my God, 18-year-old having sex. Welcome to the 21st, 22nd, 20th, 19th century. What is wrong with you? You cannot tell me that those ladies weren't raw dogging at. Give me a break. How dare you to get on their high horse? And then I hear the lady who goes live forever, the TJ lady, TL lady. She's like, oh God, man, I teach my girls to wait till they're married. Oh, okay, Mary Poppins. Cool story, bro. Cool story. What is this? Like, what is this? The Waltons? I'm trying to think of something. Leave It to Beaver time. Give me a break. My mom didn't wait till then. You didn't wait till then. You can't tell me you waited till then. You can't tell me anybody. I didn't wait till then, and you shouldn't. I'm a huge advocate for do what you want with your body as long as it's consensual. And if you are, 18 years old, you got a boyfriend, and you want to experience sex, that's your business. It's none of my business to tell you when it's okay for you to do that, especially when these ladies aren't even related to this woman, okay? And there's no way that these people have ended up in the life situations they have, and they were just holier than thou all of a sudden. All of a sudden, it's Mother Teresa. They got their little nun hats on. They are just so virginal, so virtuous, just, clutching pearls. Oh my God, not the pimp dater. Oh, she shouldn't be having intercourse. Wait till you're married so you can get divorced. My God, to each their own. If you want to do that, fine. But to push that on people, you don't buy something without trying it out. You know what I mean? You're not going to probably get that outfit until you try it on. You're not going to get that car until you test drive it. So why the hell would I promise my life to a man if I don't even know if we have chemistry on all the levels you need chemistry? Now, if sex isn't important to you or you are asexual or something, more power to you. But if people want to have sex with each other, guess what? They're going to do that. So you pretending to clutch your pearls and pretending to, I know Tilly's right on my lap, pretending to be so offended is a joke, given the fact that you ladies are disgusting. A joke. So they shamed her for that. They, shamed her for her mom's addiction. Just a teenager, a 17-year-old. And then they blamed the uncle. Well, it's his fault. No, it's your fault that you have no control over yourself. None yet. Tilly, she's on my lap, and she's just like, man, I need to be heard. I need to be heard. Yeah, abstinence training to me is stupid. Okay? You should learn about your body. You should learn about sex. And just learning about sex doesn't mean that you're going to have sex. Okay, yes. And then these idiots are like, maybe hooked on phonics. Isn't hooked on phonics for reading, idiot? Seriously. They were like, the girl said she was 4 years younger than some guy that's always in these lives. I don't know nothing about this guy. I don't want to know nothing about this guy. But it seems like, I tell you, they went back and forth about this guy. And so he's like 21, which I don't understand why he's talking to these elderlies either, And then he was like, maybe you're slow. And then they were like, she's bad at math because they're like, if she's 4 years younger than him, then she would be 17, not 18. She's like, sorry, I just didn't get the math right. And I think it was Housewives, that awful woman, that horrendous woman was like, no, hooked on phonics or something. Or maybe it was Squirrel, I can't remember. But I was like, wasn't hooked on phonics for literacy? Wasn't it for so you could be literate? Maybe they added math. But back in my day, it was just straight reading, bro. Straight reading. Okay? It's crazy. Producer Tilly. Yes. Daisy's appointment said, when I was about to get married, my hairdresser asked me, have you slept with at least 10 people? I said, oh God, no. And he said to me, you're not ready to get married. He was right. And I was divorced 4 months later. Never remarried, but love being a hoe. She ain't nothing but a hoochie mama. Hoorah, hoorah, hoochie mama. She ain't nothing but a hoochie mama. Hoorah, hoorah, hoochie mama. For real. For real. Stop shaming other women. Stop. How are you going to be a slut and slut shame? I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that. How are you going to salute it up or encourage saluting in your life or your friend's life and then slut shame a teenager? There should be no sluts. It should just be like, whatever you want to do with your body's cool. You know what I mean? Just, again, as long as it's consensual, do it. Have all the sex or none of the sex or some of the sex. Just do it. Just do it. Okay? Right? Hello, 17, drive-in, the only reason to go. And then you went the next night with your girlfriends. Exactly. In the same car. So whatever. That's the reason you go to the drive-in. Is to like smoochy and maybe go all the way if you wanna, okay? And then the windows get fogged up, and I'm surprised more people didn't notice that. No, they didn't care because they weren't in people's business, okay? Yeah, go through your whole phase. Whatever. The uncle was thrust into an adult guardian who had to immediately grow into parenting. The girl wasn't thrown into, exactly. Like, at least she had an uncle who was willing to care for her. But to go after their little weird circus community really does weaponize people's, they weaponize people's trauma, they weaponize people's addiction, and they all think they're just holier than thou when they say it. The fact that mom was like, I've never had addiction in my family. Ma'am, please, log off, ma'am, please, go read your diary, okay? So I bet you there's quite a few entries, all right? It's crazy. It's something you'll never be able to make sense of. And then it's one thing for these idiots to fight each other. Fight, celebrity death match, I don't care. But when the kid's there, you would just think that they would be better. You would hope, but they're not. It was like, well, she said this, and she's a disrespectful little. You shouldn't even engaged with a child, a teenager. You shouldn't be talking to teenagers when you're 57 years old. You shouldn't. You shouldn't be having beef with them. Like I said, you shouldn't have enemies. You shouldn't have anything. Okay. Oh, okay. So the young girl is Zeus or Deucer, the Canadian guy who hangs out in the bush. Hey guys, it's me. Just had some Burger King. Now I'm going to hang out with my elderly friends, and the Mrs. Doubtfire and Momo, Maria. Okay. So I don't know why that triggered my Siri. Oh, it's Tilly. Tilly's doing it. Tilly, you're on the keyboard. You're on the keyboard, little babes. My little baby girl. All of a sudden, that popped up another screen. I'm like, what's going on here? Okay. So it's his niece. He took care of her because his sister, her mom, was in rehab and had addiction issues. And to be a kid with addict parents, I was lucky because I had very functioning alcoholic parents. My mom was so high functioning, it was crazy. But there's always effects on kids when there's addiction around them, and they're long-lasting effects. Whether that addiction passes on to you, whether you're forced to grow up too soon, whether you see things you're not supposed to, whether you have codependency issues later in life. There's so many things that can follow addiction and being in an addictive house. And to be a young person and to have a parent, what can only be seen at that age as reject you and choose a substance over you, is just the saddest thing, because again, it has nothing to do with this little girl. She did nothing wrong. It's how strong the addiction is and the disease is that it literally breaks up families. And it is true that there is not a family that has not somehow been touched by addiction. It's just become so common. And so you'd think there'd be greater understanding and empathy around it, but there's not, because we're dealing with people who are idiots, who just wake up. They don't brush. I guarantee they don't floss their teeth. None of these people floss. None of these people are flossing. The jaws are looking weak, okay? They are not flossing. I just know it. There's going to be gingivitis all over the place. They're going to lose the structure of the jaw. It's a bad situation. Nobody's using a pick. One thing a dentist told me a while ago that was really good is everyone should do those little, I have tons of those little dental pick things, and especially at night. I use them all throughout the day because they're mint flavored too, and it's just another way to floss as well. And if you, he said you could dip it in, was it hydrogen peroxide? I don't do that part. And it has been so great because just flossing doesn't get as good as these little pick things. Okay, but don't be like Holly White and then pick it off and then eat it. Don't be like that. Okay. Yes, and gingivitis is an epidemic, and that should be talked about too. Okay, that should be talked about too. All right. So now I forgot where I was going with that. What was I saying, you guys? Oh, the addiction stuff. Okay. Unreal about no addiction in families, extended families members. And here's the thing. You might not even know that you have someone in your family who's struggling, because it's also a really shameful thing for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that want to hide it, not just because of shame, but because they're not ready to get sober, or they're not, they know that if someone saw truly what they were doing, they would try to intervene. and they don't want that. So you can't say that, because I heard Momo today like, that's not 12. I'm a mom. I have a good life. Let me crochet something to stab you in the back. And I'm just, I mean, these women and their how uneducated and willfully ignorant they are. It always amazes me, and it shouldn't by this time, but it does. So for them to attack a kid that comes from, this life where the mom is so sick in her disease that she can't even care for her, and to have this young girl, not have her mom. We all want our mom. We all want a mom. We all want a dad. We all want people to, the people that brought us in this world to love us. We don't all get that. And we don't all get the love we deserve. We don't all get the acceptance we deserve. We don't by our creators, mom and dad, Unfortunately, that causes a lot of trauma, and, there's residual effects throughout your life, and it's you just wouldn't wish that upon anyone. I mean, feeling rejected or feeling left by a parent is one of the worst pains, especially for children, obviously, because that's all you want as a kid and teenager is, even if you're in those teenagers where you're snotty and you know everything, you still want to know that your parents love you and they want you, So this is not a reflection of this young girl. This is not a reflection of her mother's love for her. This is a reflection of a very serious disease that a lot of people suffer from. So the way they talk about it so callously and the way they weaponize it against children is truly disgusting. And the fact that anyone could support that. If you support that trash squirrel eater, I don't know what to do with you. I'm just glad I don't know you, because it's really ew. Ew, ew, ew. Ew, ew, ew. Yeah, the trauma, PTSD, so many things come of it, okay? Yes, drugs and alcohol will keep you from the things you love the most. And these women are speaking from a place where they're very much addicted to the internet and other things. There's no way you're staying awake that long and there's not some kind of mania going on or some kind of drugs. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Those are the facts. Okay? It's unhealthy. No one should be awake that long with that little sleep, being that angry, attacking children and other people because your quasi-boyfriend, sister, who doesn't seem to like you very much, was interviewed about a crime. And you. It's weird. Do I care? No. Do I think that person is a horrible person for interviewing them? No, I think you're all the same. I think you'd do it, have done it, will do it. So no, you have no respect for anyone or yourself. Truly gross. Truly, 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 truly outrageous. These women apologize. However, their apologies include a lot of... Exactly. That's the thing with these trash bags, these trash bag humans. They always have to preface it with the but. They always have to go, but it's the same as the JY syndrome. They're all JYs. They're all JYs. They're no different than JY at this point. They're no different. It's like, but if they wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't. They knew I was going through such a hard time because my quasi-boyfriend was getting interviewed by my quasi-ex-friend, and I have to be on the internet and talk about it because this is how I make my living, but maybe I do something else, but right now I'm not doing that, and I'm eating cheesecake from my enemy, and so people need to know that this is happening to me. And so if she wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't have said that. Okay? You go take a shit, I go take a shit. And you're just like, oh my God. I am ashamed that I know anything about these women. Yes, this is not an apology when you put but. It's not an apology. Jam. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Jam. It's not. Butts and blame. It's always someone else. The same with JY. They trigger me. They push me to the edge. I only go for people. Momo says it. The squirrel says it. JY says it. They say, well, you know how I am. I go hard, but I don't come for you unless you come for me. If you come for me, I'll come for you. Come. We're all coming. But not the good kind of coming, the bad kind of coming, where you're lonely and yelling at people on the internet. Just sad. So that happened. And cuckoo bananas. I'm definitely not. I can't listen to any more of that squirrel lady, I thought, because she was fighting with Sailor Moon and then fighting with Johnny Return of the Mac. And so I saw on Reddit that there was this long live, and I think I saw before Reddit that there was a long live. And I tuned into some of it and I was like, wow, gross. Okay. And then I don't know I haven't been able to really listen to any Sailor Moon, so I have no idea what's going on there other than a lot of excuses for why JY was on the panel, her panel, or brought JY up. I mean, that was just, in my opinion, so stupid. That was ridiculous. And now Real is back or whatever, that Real Fun News. I mean, you guys, you can't, that's why nobody takes any of you people seriously, because you say, I'm for this, I'm for that. You make very clear statements and you make very cut and dry. I don't do this, I don't do that. But then you do those things. I don't support women that do, or men that treat women like this, but then you support them no matter what. If you know JY enough, you know that he will never help you. He only does things that benefit him. We've seen that time and time again. He's trash. So him taking a moment to say, hey, I can help you, Sailor Moon. I have information on Natalie. Let me on your live. That's why I said the scroll did what should have been done is, no, you can't come up. Now she does everything else wrong, but that was like one thing that I was like, okay, everyone should do that. He's popped in. Do you think he hasn't popped into Sip and Key? He definitely has. Then we block him. Bye. We don't even acknowledge him. One time he popped in, wanted us to bring up, we didn't even acknowledge him. He doesn't deserve it. You give him a platform, he's not going to help you. He's never going to help you. He's not, and you know that. Everybody knows that. It's weird. So J Return of the Mac came from Mob Wives Tube. So there's a mob tube of guys that think they're in the mob. One of them sounds like Rush Limbaugh, and he's like, hey, ladies, what's up? It's me, Rush Limbaugh, not Rush Limbaugh, back from the dead. Anyways, women are weak. Right, Momo? Momo, let's say something offensive about Cubans. Oh, you agree? Awesome. Momo's like, I do agree. I agree. Let me put down Cubans when I'm Cuban. It makes no sense. And he's like, hey, guys, drop a link. This is when Momo and Mrs. Doubtfire are just such dum-dums. They're just dum-dum pups. Dummy dum-dum-dums. They modded all of these people. I think they might have taken the wrench away from Rush Limbaugh, though. There's this Rush Limbaugh guy, and he's fighting with Johnny Return of the Mac. And they hate each other. Okay. And he brings it up. I mean, anytime they're live, he's like, hey, what's up, guys? It's me. What's up, ladies? I don't respect you, but I'm here. Hey, don't forget to drop my people's channel. We're the muscle. We're going to get you, I mean, great radio voice. This guy really should do radio. Great radio voice. But clearly has disdain for women. Is probably one of those guys that's like, woke culture, gross. Being woke. Oh, God. Triggered. And today, him and Momo were live. Was it today or yesterday? And they both were laughing. And it was one of the I've seen a lot of scary movies. It was one of the scariest experiences I've ever had. It was like, and they just both laughing back and forth at something that wasn't funny. About a pillow, about assaulting someone with a pillow, because that's a whole nother thing we can talk about. But the Johnny Return of the Mac was accused of this other guy, Rush Limbaugh, was like, Johnny Return of the Mac has DV charges. He beat up his stepdad, and then he beat up his lady. And it's like, huh? What? Excuse me? And then Johnny Return of the Mac is like, I would never. I just have a chin strap. They're putting me in a category because of my chin strap. It's because I wear sunglasses at night. It's because I'm attractive. And I have matching mob tube, sweatpants and zip-ups. So I have matching sets. They're jealous. I have a leather couch that takes up my entire living room. I have 17 crucifixes on my wall. They're jealous. Jealous of me. And then turns out he then had to go live and go, okay, I'm gonna say I did have a DV, my wife, but it was a long time ago, and I hit her with a pillow. And you're just like, oh God, so now you do. You didn't, and now you do. Okay, great. Fantastic. I mean, this just keeps getting better and better. And then Dolphy's just like, yeah, you guys, Mama's really a bad person. Wait, no, she's more Southern. She's like, hey, Momo shouldn't be talking about me. She keeps talking about me. She says stuff about, Momo did say something bad about Dolphy's addiction. And she posted in her community tab, Momo's a monster. She posted a picture, and Mod666 did this to me. She posted pictures of me and said, I guess that's what your skin looks like when you're an alcoholic or an addict. And I was like, nice try. My skin's beautiful. But nice try. So she did a similar thing to Dolphy, Momo did, and it was like, when you're on drugs or something. And she has been saying on quite a few streams, Momo has, that Dolphy is hitting the pipe again, even though Dolphy says she didn't hit pipes. She got addicted to prescription medications after an accident, which is actually really common. I just don't see why you even have to go after her addiction when it's not prevalent at all. It's not like a JY situation where he uses it to hurt people and make money. She's clearly says she's in recovery, so leave it. But Momo's horrible. So she commented on that. So, Dolphy's just like, Momo talks about, I don't understand why she got to talk about my addiction. She says horrible stuff. And let me tell you, karma's a bitch. Okay? And you about to be grandmother, okay, to some new kittens. Momo's kitten or cat is having babies. So she's going to have kittens. And what if one of those kittens, they could end up addicted to the nip, the catnip. Okay? So, I'm just saying. Then Momo, at Run, she said that. I was like, oh, Momo. So I was decorating my tree, and I was like, oh, Momo not going to like this. Momo's going to run with this one and say, she would talk about my unborn kitten. Okay? And sure enough, that's what she did. So Momo flipped their whole life on its head, which she does. These are bad faith actors. They look for one little thing and then they take it and they run with it. Same with the squirrel, same with JY. So they are never held accountable. It's always something else was said. And then Dolphy's like, I didn't say that. And then Momo plays it back. And I mean, she did say it. So it's like, yeah. So Momo gets out of another thing because Dolphy was like, well, I didn't say that. I may not be a good person. No, what? Well, I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is, Momo. Oh, and I'm like, well, and then they're going to feed into it. And that's all they're going to be talking about. So then Momo went live to go off. They're talking about my unborn kittens. Hoping they're addicted to catnip. It's just like a hot mess. So yeah, okay. Let's get to, so there, Momo's like, I'm never going to, or no, how's Momo talks like, I'm never going to stop talking about you and Dolphy. I hate Dolphy. I hate you, Johnny McDaddy. She's like, I hate some. Everyone's getting an RO. It's like, girl, no one's going to give you an RO unless you lie to the court. You're going to have to lie because you legit go back and forth with them. So they are not stalking you. If anything, Momo's the stalker. Okay, so that takes me into Maria versus Maria, which was epic and disgusting. It made me throw up and smile at the same time. So Momo's going on about how she's going to give JY a restraining order. Get an RO because he talked about her guns. She's got an arsenal, apparently. And JY brought it up and she's like, no, I'm going to be attacked. But there's always an ulterior motive for Momo. So apparently she called the Popo on JY while she was live and said he was making threats when apparently he wasn't. And that got caught. And So there was a live she wanted deleted on Johnny Return of the Mac Daddy's channel, and it was taken down, and then he put it back up, and then they messaged back and forth, put my stuff up, and she just this is what Momo does though. When she's mad at you, okay, she will message you. She's messaged me, I never replied. She's messaged other creators I know. And the thing with Momo is she acts hard, and she says, I would never contact someone's job. Lie. She blatantly wanted to dox Busy and put a whole thing out there. What's Busy's information? And wanted to contact his job. 100%. 100%. Then she'll contact you and be like, well, if you stop talking about Carlos and you stop talking about Anna and you stop talking about this, then, and you're just like, what? No one's talking about that. What are you talking about? And then I'm a victim, my sister. And then she will go on and on about stuff that has nothing to do with the fact that she's just a horrible person on the internet. And she becomes the victim and cries like a little baby. And then when she goes live, she's like, I would never. It's like, that's all you do. Okay. Yeah. Momo called the popo. Okay. So she's going after JY. And then JY makes a live, and it looks like it's about to be I was hoping it would be just a real rager, that he was going to just go off on Momo, because I'm okay with these people fighting each other 100%, because they were friends and idiots and all that stuff. So then she's talking about, apparently Lumberjack's got time. She's got time today. She combed her hair to the side. She got a fresh shave on one side, Tegan and Sarah on the other. She's ready to go. She made her last boat, or whatever lumberjacks do. She loaded up her logs, and she's ready to play. Okay. And as you've seen, Lumberjack and some other lady named, what's her name? Annie Yeti. I'll call her Yeti because I don't know her name. Yeti have been going live with him talking about sister wives. And then someone named Marlo or Motto, they either talk about poop or they talk about sister wives. And they think they're funny. And it is cringe. But good for them. God bless. Make your content. Okay. And they're going live to not too many people, as the foam lives. But God bless. Good job. So she shows up and she's like, what's up? So Maria drops the link. Momo drops the link. We'll call it Momo and Lumberjack. Okay. Maria versus Maria. Let me break it down for you. Momo drops the link. And immediately, Momo, the badass who's talking, who now has this Rush Limbaugh on her side, like, hey guys, don't mess with Maria. No one should mess with women. All right? You ladies have a little bit of common sense sometimes, right? Because you're women. And you're just like, oh God, crazy. So, she's all hard, and she's so tough. She's so tough. She's just such a tough knitter, and knitting. Does she crochet or does she knit? She does one of the things. She's a tough crocheter, a tough knitting expert. I don't know. She's the toughest lady at the craft show. Okay. And then right before Lumberjack enters, she goes, remember, we all used to be friends. And this is what Momo does. She attacks. And then she gets nervous that you're going to hit her where it hurts, that you're going to call her out, that you're going to get one up on her. So then she goes, remember, we used to be friends. She tries to play the victim. I've seen her do this so many times on live. I've seen DMs of her. I mean, it's just insane. Okay. She's a professional victim. It's a Karen. It's a Karen move. It's a Karen. It's the Karen of all Karens. It's a Karen Kathy. It's a Kathy Karen. Okay. And so then Lumberjack pulls up and she's like, what up? And I was like, dang, Lumberjack, Gangster's Paradise. Why are we so blind to see that the ones we heard are you and me? Get some wood. So she pulls up like Gangster's Paradise. Like she was like, what up? And Mom was like, why do you protect Johnny? Why are you okay with him calling women CNX Tuesdays? And why do he hurts women? I'm thinking, Momo, you don't have a case. Okay. Murder was the case. You don't have it because you murdered your reputation when you went back to him. And you clearly, for long periods of time, sat next to that man while he called other women CNX Tuesdays and said horrible things. You never said anything because it didn't bother you because you don't really care. She does not care about women's empowerment. She don't even care about women. She don't care about nothing. She care about Momo and Momo drama. She care about Momo getting attention because Momo sad, Momo lonely. Momo can't talk to dogs all day. Okay. So Oh, I just closed a ring. Oh, I have a move goal. I reached my move goal. Oh, I must move a lot. Oh, I had an active day. Thank you, Apple Watch. Oh, 601 calories burned. Oh, not to brag, you guys. All right, too much of a tangent. So Mom was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And Maria's like, I don't think it's right, but I love the man. Or Lumberjack, I should say. It's like, I love the man, not the actions, but I love the man. I love John as a man, but I can't be held accountable for all of his actions. That's not fair. And I'm like, okay. I'll never understand Lumberjack because Lumberjack is actually an educated person. When she speaks, she brought up some historical facts in this that I had to Google. I was like, dang, Lumby she's just one of them chicks that will pull up something like the conquistadors or something. She just like pulls up something and you're just like, excuse me, what? And she did in this conversation. But that's what makes her the saddest and the most dangerous, is that she is smart enough to know better, but she would rather, for whatever reason, just placate JY and just so she could get a couple sad views in her RV. It's really too bad. But anyways, I was enjoying, as much as you can enjoy Lumberjack, I was enjoying this Lumberjack because she's very passive aggressive. But this time she was aggressive. And she was giving Momo a little, going, yeah, you're right. He shouldn't do that. And Momo was like, why must we struggle and have to bear the fruit from the JY drunken loins? Why must he take his alcoholism out on us and call us these things? And she's like, listen, I agree. He shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have to, okay? But he's getting a little better. It's been like 12 hours. He hasn't had a drunken rager, okay? He kept it in the cager. So you just won't give him credit. And Momo is like, what? That is not true. Why should I care? I do not care. I do not care about him. And then Lumberjack said, and that's my problem with you. You don't care about him and his recovery or whatever. And I'm like, oh goodness, this is getting good, eating good in the neighborhood, okay? And I was just sitting there eating hot dish. My husband made tater tot hot dish. Oh, I may or may not have made him listen to this part. I played it back. It's still on Momo's live, I think, from last night. And so they're going at it about the C word. And then Lumberjack says, I don't even think the C word is not even that bad. Like, it's just, I don't know. You guys make a big deal of it. Making a big deal of nothing. It's like, it's actually not favorable for a drunk, unsuccessful loser of a man to get online and just call women he doesn't like see you next Tuesdays. It's actually not probably, as a woman, something you should be, standing next to. But, feminism includes letting you do what you want to do, even if it's a huge mistake and you look like an idiot. And Momo, just the fake outrage of the see you next Tuesday when you and JY. Also, fun fact, when you hear Momo go off about this unborn grandchild comment that Dofi made about karma is a bitch, there will be addiction in your family, maybe one day, maybe it'll be a grandchild, which I say don't bring up an unborn baby into this. Please, just so cuckoo. But Momo, weren't you the one on panel with JY? And Sipping Key definitely has the video, where JY and you were laughing and saying that Rabbit's newborn baby, like newborn baby, was going to be like a future felon. Wasn't that the one? Yeah, pretty sure. Pretty sure that was Momo. So before she gets on her high horse, how you shouldn't talk about, she literally with JY sat on panel while he talked about the Rabbit's newborn baby and how it was going to end up horrible and be a felon and all this stuff. So come on with the fake outrage. You're a horrible human and you did horrible things in the name of JY. And it is your duty now to take him down. You're not doing any favors. You're not teaching anyone anything. It's just what you should do after all the hanging you did. Okay. So Maria versus Maria, back into that. So like Lumberjack's like, yeah, what's the big deal about the see you next Tuesday? Okay. Me, when I'm driving around in my trailer, A lot of people call me that. I'm cool with that. And Mom was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You're horrible. You're horrible. You know, and you know he lied about the S attempt. And then Lumberjack's like, he did not lie. She's like, yes, he did. Because he and Julie called me and they told me that Cody had dropped him off, blah, 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 and we found out that wasn't true. And all the stuff we know about the fake S attempt that Jay White tried. I hate the way to say S attempt, like we're adults here, but we have to because of YouTube. And then Lumberjack's like, he did try. Are you just mad because he didn't succeed? And Mom was like, no, he didn't. He's just a cutter. And she's like, is it not deep enough for you? And then they start screaming at each other. And then Mom was like, stop screaming. Just stop screaming. And then Lumberjack goes, okay, I'll stop screaming. That's cool. It's cool. Okay. Thank you, Diana Lee, for the third super chat. Why do women lose it over a man? You were born alone. Exactly. And a JY, no less. I mean, no one's even getting any D from this situation. It's just weird. It's weird. But Lumberjack goes hard for him. Hard. Okay. Maybe they're secretly related, but they're hard for him. So Lumberjack's like, okay, I'll calm down. I'm going to stop yelling. Mom was like, yeah, you stop yelling. I'm right. You're wrong. And then she's like, what? No. Okay. So they talked about that and how, it's just not good enough. You people will never, Lumberjack said, will never be okay with, you don't want him to get better. Ma'am, you just recently should have seen how no one was talking about this dude. And he randomly just went live and started crying, going, no one will leave me alone. And no one was talking about him. But then Momo and Mrs. Doubtfire were dumb enough to feed into that. And then sure enough, he's back. Like freaking Bloody Mary, like freaking Beetlejuice. You can't say his name, okay? So then they start talking. I don't remember what they start talking about next, but eventually it gets to why she's mad at him. He said, I have an arsenal in my home. And Lumberjack said, you do have an arsenal in your home. But before that is when they were talking about how people called the hospital. And then Lumberjack said, and why did people call the hospital? Why did people call the hospital? And Mom was like, I didn't. And I didn't. And Lumberjack calms down and goes, well, yeah, you didn't. It was really weird because they would just yell at each other and then they would calm down. Okay. She's like, that's right. I know you didn't. Okay. That's point taken. Okay. Point you. Take 1 point off of me. And it's like, again, why people called the hospital? I didn't. I wouldn't. But you involved the whole internet and you blamed people. I was one of the people who was blamed. I was on vacation in Hayward, Wisconsin with my fam bam. I had no idea what was going on. And all of a sudden, Mod 666 is putting me in JY's story saying, Joleen is one of the reasons JY is basically bleeding to death. And I'm like, excuse me? The only person that has bled that much is me every month on my period. Call back to the periods, okay? JY's cat scratches are not. I've had more menstrual blood on a light day than that guy had in the cat scratches. Okay. Yes. Where is everybody? You guys missed it. I'm telling. I don't even want to play it, but you got to go. It's a long live, but it's like around the 2-hour mark or a little before, maybe 1 hour and 40 minutes. Momo's live last night when she was going ape shit about a restraining order on JY. Lumberjack joined. Yes, me. And I'm literally at a lake going, what? People are messaging me. I'm like, huh? Who? Me? Are you sure it's me? Because I could give 2 shits. Me? Oh, okay. And then I moved on with my life because that's absurd. It's absurd. Okay. Well, good for you because it is toxic. It's toxic. A year and 3 months short stack. That is amazing. Thank you. So then the arsenal's brought up. The JY said she had an arsenal. Okay. And she's like, I had an RO because he said the arsenal. And then Lumberjack says, you do have an arsenal. And Momo's like, I do not. And she's like, I saw it. Brooke saw it. Sophie saw it. JY saw it. The fish saw it. The slutty fish or stinky fish or whatever it's called. The slut fish saw it. Your mom saw it. Your dad saw it. My cat saw it. My brother saw it. The trailer park saw it. My haircut saw it. People you don't even know saw it. Like, she was just listing people. And Mom was like, no. And she's like, and not only do you have an arsenal, you have so many guns. Like, it's so scary. And Mom was like, they're for hunting. They're for hunting. And Lumberjack's like, well, it was a lot of guns. It was like guns here, guns there, guns everywhere. Here's a gun, there's a gun, everywhere's a gun. It was Machine Gun Kelly threw up in a room where you just have all these guns. You got a squirt gun, you got a taser gun, you got all the guns. You got a Super Soaker, you got a Super Soaker XL, you got the super duper soaker. It's crazy. You love guns. And then Maria's like, and then she kicks Lumberjack off as she was making a good point. I will say the victor was Lumberjack. Momo couldn't keep up. And then Lumberjack is making references to things that I had to Google. She's like, you're loaded up like the conquistadors or something. I don't even remember what she said exactly, but she was just like something. And Mom was like, no. She's like, I'm not going to put up with that shit. I'm not going to put up with it. And that's a lie, because me and Dofi I've never been on a call with her. It's like, are you sure? You guys sure you haven't all been in this like backstage you guys all talk about? But okay. Like the video. Yes. We talked about that a little earlier. Debbie, just rewind a little bit. Just rewind. It's not whispering. It's my nighttime Rando Chats voice. It's just very relaxing when we talk about all kinds of things. Okay. Yes. I mean, it's just been crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you. So Momo dropped her. But I will say Lumberjack pwned her. Like, I don't agree with anything Lumberjack says. Nothing. But she was right. She also told Momo, my favorite part was when she said, I left this part out, but it was my favorite. And she was like, and why did you turn on John? And why? Because your ego, your feelings got hurt. And that's what happened. And I'm like, that is actually true. She would have never turned on JY had her ego not been bruised by the whole Amber was backstage. He had been talking to Scamber. And that really hurt Momo, because Momo put in the work kissing his ass. Momo put in the work trying to be head hag. Her and the Scottish egg, Mrs. Doubtfire, they went live right after his fake ass attempt. They went live to tell everyone he's great on multiple occasions. They were just lying about him, even though they knew that he was a horrible person. They weren't new to this game. They knew. She was his 7-year stalker, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Momo took or attempted already to take an RO out on him when they hated him. And then when they became friendly again, for whatever reason, I would never become friendly with someone who I had an RO on, or someone who called me a stalker, or someone who spoke about my deceased mother, which JY did about Mrs. Doubtfire's mom. Never would, okay? And so then, I mean, that is exactly what happened, is the ego. Momo got hurt. It had nothing to do about how he treated women. It was how he treated her, what he did to her and her ego, and how he took Scamber. He will always choose Scamber over you, Momo, you, Mrs. Doubtfire, you, Maria W., Lumberjack, because JY loves chaos. That's why he loves Jen Bailey. He doesn't like the rest of you. You're too boring. He'll play with you guys. He'll want you on his side because he doesn't want you to be his enemy. So he has made that quite clear to say he never really liked Momo. He just didn't want her against him. But he loves the messy players. That's who he wants to be around. He wants to be around Scambers. He secretly wants to be around Cheryl's. He wants to be around Monica's. He does not want to be around you little ladies. You're too boring for him. You don't have enough followers for him. It's not something. He would never pick you over them. And that really hurt her. Really, really hurt her. I mean, for real. Ilya, for real. It's always, girl, get a lozenge. Stop with the vaping. Everyone is vaping, and these popcorn lungs are going crazy. if you are sounding like this, you shouldn't be inhaling. No inhalants. Are ROs applicable to social media? I don't know. I mean, my understanding of an RO is that then this person wouldn't be able to contact you on any platform or in any way. So, and I think you can request, there's certain requests you can make within the RO that can apply to things. So, yeah. Oh, she's not. She's a she's a whole cuckoo bird. Debbie, she's a whole cuckoo bird. Yeah. I mean, they allowed him to come on and use them, and they knew it. And they talk about it now. Like, how dare he use us? They knew. They knew. They just felt like they were benefiting from it. And it's sick. It is gross. And that's why none of these people are good people. They're all yucksters. They're all yucky, yucky people. Lucky, yucky people. It's too toxic. And once Heidi Black went after Busy's job and still has the post up, and then Momo tried to as well, it was within days of each other that they both attempted to go after Busy. They both made posts saying, Momo made a post like, send me Busy's information. You guys got Busy's information. And then, and she can deny it all she wants, but there's proof that she had to be talked out of it to contact his job. All because he did a drag the hag of her and her sister's claims. And then Heidi Black posted Busy's job. And she's like, this looks interesting. I'm going to look into that. And then did a live at her work where she freaked out and was like insane. Talking about Busy and that he somehow talked negatively about her kids, which he didn't. He just said, hello, your kids, you have sons. They probably look like me. So how can you support someone, JY in that for so long and say you didn't know? Because that's Heidi's thing. I didn't know about JY's racism and stuff. And how can you do that? Knowing that you have sons who look like me, you have black sons. And then she was like, my son's in DC and maybe I'll have, him pay you a visit or something. I'm paraphrasing, but it was just cuckoo bananas how she spun that. So after all of that, I will say that it definitely Busy was checked out. Who wouldn't be? I mean, Busy's got great things going on in his life. He's engaged. He bought a house. He has a job. I mean, these people are insane. That's why we just don't really talk about them, because they're not interesting. And on our main channels, it's not something that we do, Sipping Key was obviously where we parodied the stuff and talked about the mess and provided commentary, but neither of us wanted associated with our main channels because these people we wanted a channel together. That was our number one goal. But now it's kind of like figuring out what's the future of Sipping Key and how to navigate in this, because these people are so bananas. They definitely are trying to, get at me. They're contacting me. They got my phone number, sending stuff to me. I just don't go live and talk about it because it's like, whatever, hopefully you're bored because it's pretty boring. I mean, they were trying to scare, they're trying to scare people. That's what they do. Like, we have your address and we're going to do this, that, or the other thing. But that is, sometimes being checked out is good. Yes, good for Busy. Yeah, he's got too many things going on, He has everything going for him. Exactly. Hey, Rabbit. I know it. I mean, it was so fun. We have to figure out the next thing we're going to like parody and stuff. But I think this was just, there's still like, who knows? I might still pop out a little edited parody because some of this stuff is just so comical. It's so ridiculous that it's comical. But they definitely were trying to like scare, send me things, call me. They text me, hi bitch, and it's like, oh my god, like pathetic, really pathetic, very pathetic to get calls, text messages, orders to my house. Just, But I assume that was like the best part of their week where they got to pretend to be me. I assume that was probably the highlight, which is sad for them. But yeah. So, and also it's a never ending story and there's no end game. And these people never want to stop. And everyone you follow who says they're going to do their content soon never wants to do their content because they're never going to make as much money or get as much views as they do doing this. So this content, they're already doing their content. Their content is drama. And they need to just accept that and own that their content is literal shit. Whether it's, crying for things, whether it's fighting with each other, crying, yelling, fighting, starting drama, that's all they do. And it's a black hole and they're never getting out of it. None of them are. None. If they were really serious and if they were going to take legal action on each other, they wouldn't speak on each other. And anybody would advise that. Anyone would advise someone who is going to go legal on another person not to talk about them. I've been in this situation. I've been stalked online. I've had people make 100+ videos on me and disparage me and their subs threaten me. I've had this happen. And they do not advise you to engage. They do not. Because then you don't have a case. You're just two people fighting each other on the internet. No one is stalking the other one if you keep going live about each other. It's just, that's how it works. The law will laugh at you and you're wasting its time. If you're really serious, you make the moves behind the scenes. That's what I did with our stalker. I made moves behind the scenes. I did what I had to do to protect myself and to protect Busy. And I didn't talk about it. Me and Busy only talked about it once to expose what was happening to us, and then we didn't go live about it. So that is literally the truth of it. Rabbit says, I'm confused and I can't follow any of the back and forth. I see everyone is back with JY. Rabbit, I gave, some things earlier if you want to rewind, but not everyone. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if any of them went back because it's a revolving door with JY and these hags, ex-hags. So the only person I know who's with him is Dofi Sophie. And Mob, Rabbit, you have so much to catch up on. Mob wives, aka MobTube, these guys who think they're in the mob, are now fighting for some of the women in this craziness, being Momo. Momo has a MobTube guy who sounds like Rush Limbaugh. Hey guys, it's me, Rush Limbaugh, also fighting for Maria. Everyone should be good to women, even though women are subpar at best, half a man. Okay, okay, shouldn't pick on women because they're like a third of a man. Okay, ladies, you know what I'm saying. Okay, I'm a big guy. She has that guy, and then Sophie is fighting with her, and Sophie has Johnny Return of the Mac, who's a little guy who they're all like, oh, he's a Polly Pocket, well, there's nothing wrong with a 5'4". I mean, I don't personally love a 5'4" man, but give a 5'4" man some love. And then they were like, he's got DV charges and he's fighting for Dofi against Momo. And then Momo called in his arch nemesis, the Rush Limbaugh, and he came in. And then he was like, hey, Johnny Return the Max got DV against his stepdad and also his wife. And Johnny's like, never. I only beat up my stepdad once. God, can't a guy beat up his stepdad in America and not get it talked about? I would never hit a woman. And then people found more documents because it always comes to light. All these charges, people try to say. And these MobTube guys, they were like, we're big and tough and strong. I'm sorry, but it is a joke because they are not half as corrupt as these Momo women in their little community circus. This guy was in this J hates, cancel JY little community circus for half a second, and he was exposed more than he's ever been on MobTube. And then he had to go back live and go, okay. Did I DV my wife? Oh, technically, It was with a pillow. We had a pillow fight. It was an aggressive. Do you ever get really into pillow fighting? You're just like, you know, and it was dropped. I paid the thing, and it wasn't dropped, but I paid the fee. People were laughing at me. The judge, the lawyer. It was ridiculous. It was a pillow 20 years ago. And you're like, if it was just a pillow, why were we hiding it? Okay, so you already started lying. So both these guys, and then Momo and Mrs. Doubtfire welcomed this other side of the mob wives tube. You know, that's what I call them because I loved mob wives. And Big Ange would never, okay? And oops, my other screen just beeped. My other screen. And then Momo and Mrs. Doubtfire modded all of these mob wives tube, including this guy who sounds like Rush Limbaugh. I'm telling you, why isn't this guy on radio? His voice is just amazing. He's like, hey guys, it's me. His laugh is creepy, but his voice is like, hey guys, it's me. Rush Limbaugh dug up from the dead. How's it going there, ladies? You guys you're kind of smart. You got like half a man's brain. Okay, so I'm going to explain this in layman's terms. All right. I will protect you. I got you. So Momo modded all of these people, and then he started insulting her subscribers, and she was like, I need him here. He's protecting me. And then she unmodded him, and now he brings it up every chance he gets. He's like, yeah, I'm not modded, but that's okay. I don't need it. But you know what? I modded on a lot of channels. Okay. And just make sure, Momo, you come to this live. So now he's putting Momo to work. He's like, Momo, you got to be here at Sunday at 7. You got to be over here. You got to be over there. And maybe you could he was like, today he was telling her, maybe you could make a promotional video, make a video about our live coming up. Maybe you could do that, go live. Because Momo and them, I think, have more subscribers than all these guys. So they're just all trying to build subscribers by helping in quotes, Mrs. Doubtfire and Momo. And so it's just hilarious to see Momo get bossed around by this dude. And it's like, Momo, what happened to, I don't take any slack from any of these people. And then this dude's like, do this, and then you come over here, and you come there and talk on this live, okay? And then, hey, drop their chat there. This is a good channel of mine. Yeah, we lift weights together. We fight bullies with the bully busters. Okay, yeah, drop that channel. This is a good guy. You should mod him right now. Okay, do this. Okay, now drop this link over here. Can you drop a link over? Let me talk about myself for a second. I'm amazing. And this guy is just working her, and she is falling for it. It's too much. It's too much. Yeah, why doesn't he realize his paperwork? That's impartial. People are supposed to trust. Exactly. Dofi and Momo have a horrible taste in men. We've seen that. They both were JY supporters and sympathizers, and now they hate each other. And God bless. And they should. And I do hope Momo goes after JY. And I do hope Momo goes after all of them. I hope they all go after each other. And eventually they just eat each other. They're just like, nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom, nom. Nom, nom. Because they've all caused nothing but problems and havoc. And they're all nothing but emotional dunces who just get off on drama and are so lonely and sad and are only entertaining when they're losing it. That's it. Yeah, Beetlejuice. Okay, Big Ange is the best. Mob Wives is the best. It's like Love After Lockup sequel. It really is. A pillow fight. That's what he says. And then all the women are like, he's a good guy. Just a pillow. Haven't you ever hit anyone with a pillow? God, seriously. No, none of these men should be trusted. None of these men. These women need a class in which dick to trust because you're picking all the wrong dicks. Just all the wrong dicks. They're like, it shouldn't be involved I shouldn't be involved in a woman's fight. I think Yeti in Court TV, yeah, because the lady that's on with JY, I don't know her name, I'll call her Yeti. It's like Betty, Shitty, Annie. Anyways, Yeti, who is like a mod for Court TV, and JY is just, and my theory on Yeti is just she had something very tragic happen to her, which was her brother taking his life and passing, very tragic. And I think she, thinks she can save someone like JY. And I think he's definitely taken advantage of that. So that's sad to me. But there's going to have to be a point where she wakes up and sees that JY is trash and her beautiful brother, she can't fight for JY. It's kind of, because when you have that kind of loss, I think you then project it onto, other things and other people. You're like, well, this is my friend. I don't want this to happen again, because that's such like a big loss that she had. And so she's like, I see things in him. And I think I'm just speculating from what I've heard her say previously, but I think she kind of thinks what we all think when we lose someone, especially when someone takes their own life. I wish I could have done something or more. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves when really a lot of times there's nothing. The person was in so much pain that was, the way they chose. And yeah, there's just nothing you can do. And so I think she most likely feels, obviously you would wish there's something you do, even though there's nothing you could have done, So she's going to try to save JY. Like, I couldn't save him, but I'll save JY. You can't save JY. He's like barely here. Oh my gosh. And right? Like a chin strap, sunglasses at night. I mean, and apparently JY's stepbrother too. There's fights. People are mad at him for some reason. And people that were team him. And it's crazy. All these side characters, all of them have channels. Even Zeus or Deucer has channels. And then the lady that used to have a channel with that Star woman, she has a channel now. Because I guess Star went in. I'm going to call her Starry Night. Starry Night went in and she Wreck-It Ralph their channel. She was just like, it's over, because she was talking bad about Sailor Moon. So she was like, Starry, you're done. And so that channel, that Star and Mary, Star, and the one where JY was talking about her teenage daughter and being disgusting as he is, she ended the live kind of like lumberjacked to JY when he tried to bring up Amber. So it's crazy. That's another thing. Apparently this Muzz character, so I only know her, and I hate that. I've brought so much joy to this stupid circus that people are always talking about things I've brought up, like the Muzz fart that nobody heard except for me, because I am a fan of farts. Okay, I love a good fart. And I remember that, and it was so funny, and I kept rewinding it, and I even made my husband watch it, and he even laughed, and he thinks all of this is just, these people are disgusting. And her little bubble lit up, and I think she said it was her dog, but it was clearly a human juicy fart. Okay. And it was great. Everybody farts. Who cares? Normalize farting. It was hilarious. And now you got the squirrel eater going, oh, and the fart. It's like, it wasn't meant to shame someone. It was just because farts are funny. They're hilarious. And you don't get to use that now because you haven't earned it. Okay? Well, she had a camera slip or something. All these people have camera slips. If you're going to go on panel, just show your damn face. No one should even let anyone up unless they show their damn face, okay? It's like Monica, show your face, show your face. When Cheryl and Perry were like, show your face, show your face. Ho, show your face, ho. She had a camera slip. She's a pink-haired young woman. That's it. Bad angle. I got like 3 chins. I love them all. I love the first 2 the best. The third one I could do without. But then they've been just showing her picture all over the place. And I guess she's like, take it down. And they're like, no, this is you. This is me. This is you. Okay. Farts are funny. Everyone farts. Yeah. Farts are funny. Get over it. Everyone farts. Yes. Mims. I always forget her name because I have a friend, Mims. Make it make sense. Who is beautiful and talented and great. And then this Mims, which is just not the same. So I just don't think your name should be Mims. We already have a Mims and he's fantastic. So her and Star had the channel. Yep. Farts are funny. Get over it. They are. They fart orbs or angels or angelus. Orby farts. Okay. It's just like Sip and Key has brought so much. It's so immature, Debbie K. It's so immature. I feel like I've been transported every time I get sent a pizza or food order to my house that's not paid for, or I get texts that say you're a bitch or hi bitch or whatever. I think This is so reminiscent of what high schoolers would do. I would never take time out of my day to text message someone from a fake number going, hi, bitch, or send someone something that I didn't like a food order so they could pay. I would never waste my time. That is so pathetic. Waiting, like, I'm gonna wait for Joleen to be live. Okay, now I'm gonna really get her. It's like, ugh, good God. Good God. Good God. It is so crazy. It's so immature. And all these women are like running back to each other, teaming up to each other. But right now, I would say the most disgusting. I mean, it's such a tie. Momo she just always takes the cake. She's so gross. And Momo was embarrassed by Lumberjack. Lumberjack had all the wrong points, and she has a horrible stance, and she's a JY sympathizer. But she pwned Momo. Lumberjack pwned Momo. Like, Lumberjack, you should hop on lives more often and just take Momo down with words, because Momo could not handle it. Momo's way of trying to flip the script and pick little parts of it and not focus on the main topic to get yourself off of being the topic and to just throw a bunch of things at you. Why you do this? Why you let this? Why you let this? Her machine gun style of arguing didn't work on Lumberjack. Lumberjack came ready. Okay. And I don't like Lumberjack one bit, what she does. No way. Okay. Right. No one can smell farts. I was at Michael's today. Sometimes you just have to oops, sorry, a little toot-toots, bagoots. The average person farts 17 times a day. That's what they say. It's healthy. I think I saw that once on Google, and I've went with it ever since. Okay. So worse, let's see. Momo's always just terrible. Momo is probably, she's the cancer of this circus, but the squirrel is right there with her. What I've seen from the squirrel, her and Momo, they're just JYs. They are just JYs. They are cruel. They show no empathy. They are narcissists. They will flip anything to make themselves the victim. They will grift. You don't even know they're grifting sometimes. Okay. Yes, down the rabbit hole. 2 Marias went at it, and it was an epic. Now we have to play it. And I hate that I have to do this, but I feel like we have to play it because let me get my other monitor going. Hi, Timmy. Hi, my little baby. Oh, you're so chippy. Okay. Let me see. Okay. I did have this tab open for, what was I watching last on YouTube? Christmas coffee shop bookstore ambiance with instrumental jazz Christmas music and fireplace. That is what I had open before. So we have to close that for some dirty mo. Okay, Anne and Mama. Let's see. Anne and Maria. Okay. Sitting down hearing all these people talk about what's the deal with this pop life and when's it? Oh, Momo was live 35 minutes ago. What's she talking about? Okay. The title of the live is John Yates and his negative influence on this community. Girl, you helped him. You helped raise this man. This is your child. Take responsibility for your son, ma'am, for your grandson. Okay. All right. So now I got to find the moment and we'll watch this epic battle. Okay, here we go. I found it already. That's how good I am. All right. Okay. So somewhere in hi, Tilly. Everyone get ready. Buckle up, buttercups. Fair use. Even though you do not have to say fair use. You can definitely commentate on things. Okay. So let's get it started. Let me make sure the sound's on this one. Okay. Stop screen. Okay. Present. Hi, Tilly. All right. My Chrome tab. Okay. Audio's on. Where's my headphones, Tilly? Are you sitting on them? Okay. I gotta get my headphones. I'm so sorry, you guys. Being ill-prepared. I must have put them on my coffee table. Hold, please, while we're at it. Everybody say hi to Alexis. Hi, Alexis. What's new with this pop life? Where are my headphones, Tilly? What did we do with them? And when's it gonna fade out? Doesn't matter. Huh. We don't know where they went. Jeez. Oh my goodness. In here? No. Oh well. Okay. Well, sorry guys, I can't find my headphones, but we're still gonna play it. The sound might be a little wonky and might get a little reverb. Let me know if it gets too annoying. But geez, I have 3 AirPod cases. None of them match, obviously, because that's how I roll. But here we go. Okay, add this to the stream. So here we are. This is John Yates and his negative influence on this community, starring Momo. It's a Momo Live. It's one of the ones that she does quite often where Mrs. Doubtfire is not there. She's not there. She's at home. Momo's like, I need Mrs. Doubtfire to end this live because I don't know how. Mrs. Doubtfire is like, I'm going to drop a link. I'm going to bed. Her popcorn lung is talking. Okay. It's not playing yet. Sorry. And I need to take it off mute. Okay. So Lumberjack has said she was gonna, I think she was in the chat or something. And let me see if I can get the chat up too. Here we go. Live chat replay. We might not be able to see her because they might have me blocked, or I might have blocked. I'd block a lot of people because I don't care. I just like, ew, gross. Bad energy. So here we go. Let's just start playing it.
Let's see why. Let me see how I can get it from here. Hold on.
So I think she's trying to find the link at this point for Lumberjack.
Settings.
Let me speed it up a little because Momo talks so slow. You have to learn how to use StreamYard, Momo. You got to take like a senior citizen class.
And why you're okay with him harassing women, and why you lie so much about me.
Can you guys hear it? So she's talking to Lumberjack.
And explain who Sharon is.
Why do you stick up for him? And why do you let him harass me? And why, even though? Why ask why? I drink Bud Dry, okay?
Give me a minute. I'm getting the link. It takes me a minute to have to log in.
How does she not know how to drop a link yet? And she's been going live for this long. No one should give her another thumbs up or attaboy or super chat until she learns the basics of StreamYard. This is ridiculous, Momo.
He nonstop harasses women.
So now JY nonstop harasses women.
You never told, oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? You don't even know me. And you've been trashing me since forever. You don't even know me.
She's talking to Maria W.
So if I don't agree with anything he says or with something, then I'm this horrible person. I saw your live with him. While he's trashing, you're in there going, yeah, exactly. She's a bad person, and I don't know why she does that. Why she does that? You trashed on that live. Remember all the lives that he keeps deleting? I have a copy of them if you want them.
She's got a copy, guys.
I definitely can send you copies.
Ooh.
Because you're right there. And that's why I removed you from my account, because nothing worse than somebody lying.
Nothing worse than somebody, and Momo would know because she lies the most. Okay, so nobody asked. The show right here in the chat is Lumberjack. He doesn't delete anything, she said. He doesn't delete anything. Okay, so this is taking Maria too long. I'm going to highlight this. Hey, notification. Just got here. I'm really late to the party. Where is Nana? I'm only watching 90 Day because we don't cover any 90 Day that has Angela or Big Ed. That was me and Nana's hard stance on boycotting anything that has Angela or Big Ed because they're both predators and yucky and we don't like them. So yes, but we will be Friday. We're going to do a live for Bravo, and it's also Nana's birthday this weekend. So we're going to do a little birthday celebration Friday as well. So get ready. Okay. So then, you see Broken on Blast is in there. And if you don't know Realification and anyone just joining us, Maria Lumberjack versus Maria Momo went head to head against each other. And it was epic and disgusting and epically disgusting. And I accidentally hit
I think I got it.
she dropped the link. Come on, Mama, you can do this. You can do this. I believe in you.
Anybody who stands next to a man who treats people like that, remember we were all friends.
So that's what she said right before. Remember, we're all friends. She's trying to soften the load. She's about to get exploded onto her. All right. And anyone who stands next to a man. So that would be true for you for all the time you stood next to JY. So you owe a lot of apologies, Momo. So she drops the link.
I would never put up with that shit. Never. And I still regret it. And I always said, well, I'm not going to say never. I did hear him say it. And I still regret it to this day, the way he treated the guest that he had there, that he treated like shit.
Okay. She said regrets it. Anthony says, Nana better have updated her Amazon list. Time to go shopping. I think she did.
The way he treated Danielle that time.
So the only person she can think of in all of the women that JY has harassed and disparaged and just been disgusting to is Danielle. That's it. Oh, Mama. Come on, Mama.
What am I making assumptions of?
Too many. Like, look.
Maria, click the link. I dropped it.
Ooh, Marie, click the link. Come on, Lumberjack. Get up there.
Nope, she hasn't come backstage yet.
Ooh. Oh, we're waiting. Momo's waiting. She can't fill airtime. She's not entertaining. We just sit here. That's why I always have to speed this shit up. Okay. Oh, she joined.
Maria.
Yep. What's up?
That's my favorite part. Maria to Maria. Maria Momo goes, Maria. And then Maria Lumberjack goes, yeah. Sup. We got Gangster's Paradise, Lumberjack. Let's keep going.
You sit there and you watch him trash everybody. You've seen him trash Brooke. You see him trash Vault. You saw her up there crying.
I saw who up there crying?
You were
Vault?
there when when Vault was when Vault had clicked the link. You were there when he was drunk and he said he's gonna call Amber. You dropped the live. You canceled his live. You do this shit all the time. You baby.
I do what all the time?
You cut his live when he was gonna have Amber up there. You canceled it because
I did absolutely cancel when he was gonna have Amber up there.
Ooh, direct confirmation from Lumberjack, which we already all knew that she definitely, when he was drunk and gonna like scamber the lake, and oh, Maria Lumberjack's face, she had like this thing popped out of her skin on the side, you know, kind of like when you're upset, this like ball of anger popped up, and she definitely dropped the live.
Correct.
he's a baby and he's a grown man.
That is the only live I have ever cut.
I know. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I know that's the only live you've ever cut. The only thing is that you sit there and you coddle him while he talks bad about people, about women, and you're okay with it because you think these women deserve it. Because you only listen to Kanye. You've never reached out to anybody else. You just said, "Oh, Maria just talks a lot of shit. She's always in trouble. She's saying what she wants to be, but she's not." No. Nobody should have to put up with him bashing you when he's drunk.
Girl, that is all he has done. When you sat with him time and time again, like the Counting Crows, you sat there and let him, and now you're going to call out Lumberjack.
Well, I agree with you. No, I absolutely agree with you. Nobody should have to deal with him bashing you while he's drunk. However,
But you
it's
support him.
like I support him, the man, absolutely. Do I support every word he says? Of course not. Of course not. Don't assume that. Absolutely, I want him to get off of lives when he's been drinking. He hasn't been doing that in a while. He's been trying to change, but you give no credit for that because you just want to keep him stuck in that place he was at before.
Oh my
You
God.
let him be stuck. You are not interested in growth or change.
You are not interested in growth or change. Ma'am, he's 43 and he's doing no self-work other than lying and grifting. Lumberjack, again, I agree with nothing she says, but she still is winning this argument against Momo. They both sound like idiots, but Lumberjack pwned Momo in this. Okay? It was just, I love it. Okay, let's keep going.
It's not my problem. His growth or change is not my problem.
That's correct. It's not your problem.
My problem is when he gets drunk, he starts thinking about the things that happen, and he pulls out our names, and then he starts trashing us again.
Man,
Absolutely.
so do you. So do you. And what's weirder is that you do it without drinking. You don't need anything to get you saying nasty stuff about people. You literally just said things.
This is when I was like, get her lumberjack, get her lumberjack, get her lumberjack. Let's rewind, because that's a really excellent point. JY, the thing with JY is he's gross. He's disgusting. He's a bad human. I don't think there's redemption. There's not a redemption arc in this story, okay? But at least you can tell he's a legitimate addict. Like, his goal is to feed his addiction, not have to work, all that stuff. Like, I can wrap my head around, he's horrible, he's awful, he has this addiction. I still think even if he got sober, he'd be a rude piece of crap. But that's my opinion. Because not everyone who gets sober becomes better people. Some people are just yucky. And I do think he's one of those yucky people. But Momo claims to be this great human, and she is stone cold sober, allegedly doing the worst stuff. So let's just listen to that one more time.
About my father. What's weird?
He starts thinking about the things that happen, and he pulls out our names, and then he starts trashing us again.
Man,
absolutely.
So do you. So do you. And what's weirder is that you do it without drinking. You don't need anything to get you saying nasty stuff about people. You literally just said things about my father and mother.
I said you must have something in your background to think it's okay for a man to treat a woman that way. There's no way a woman would ever allow that or accept that. Because as long as you knew that he called us all CUNTs, you knew that he said for us to shut up.
So Lumberjack's like, you literally just talked about my dad, which Momo does all the time. She says she doesn't, but she will go so low. She'll talk about your addiction. She'll talk about your unborn children. She'll talk about your children's unborn children. She'll talk about your cat. She'll talk about your fish. She'll talk about your neighbors. She will bring it all up and throw you under the bus. And she loves pretending she comes from this perfect family who doesn't talk to each other, this perfect family whose sister did not do a live about her exposing her. This perfect family that has no addiction, and it's so great. And clearly, Lumberjack, you must have been exposed to a father who called you a C word and used that language. My father would never. So it's like so ridiculous. Lumberjack's an idiot, and Lumberjack's a JY sympathizer, and Lumberjack is drinking all the Kool-Aid and is willfully ignorant at this point. But there's no reason to bring up her dad. It's weird. And that's how low Momo will go. She will come for everyone you love and make up a false narrative just to make her point work.
But that was you heard in your background, because my father CUNTs. You knew that he said for us to shut up. Who gives? I don't understand why that was you heard in your background, because my father would never do that to my mother. He never disrespected her.
My father never talked to my mother that way either.
So you think it's okay for a man to talk like that to a woman?
Well, you sure did, Momo, for all those months or years or however long it was, because you went back and forth with JY. You sure did. You sure did, Momo. You sure did.
I didn't say it was okay. I just don't think that giving that word as much weight as you do is. I think it's disingenuous. I think that you look for reasons to be angry.
Okay, so why did he treat Sweets and Beyond bad? She's never done anything to him. Why? Because she stopped following him?
I'm sorry, he treated her badly? No, he expressed his disappointment in her. Unless he said something that I missed. I'm not in there.
Also, can we get some new names? These names, Sweets and Beyond, Brenda. What are the other ones? Perfectly Imperfect. This is like so bad. 9 Inch Nails. I don't know what the other ones are named. Yeah, Lumberjack is just as bad as Mod 666, as Mod 148. For sure. She's that big of an apologist. Gross.
Private conversations. I don't know what he said to her privately, but yeah, he was disappointed that he believed the narrative that you spun. And 100% you spun a narrative. You had your feelings hurt and you lashed out because you were embarrassed.
Ooh.
Embarrassed about what? Embarrassed that I supported somebody who lied to people about hurting himself? Is that what I'm embarrassed about?
Lie.
He had no stitches, Maria. He had no stitches. There was
You're
no.
upset that he didn't do a good enough job at trying to commit suicide? Is that what you're upset about? He didn't do a good enough job? He didn't want to die badly enough for you? What is wrong with you?
Stop
Seriously.
I'm
There's
upset
something
that
wrong with you.
No, there's something wrong with you. I'm
Somebody
upset that
needs to call and get a mental health assessment for you.
Yeah,
You are not okay.
You absolutely need it because he's a cutter. He cut himself on the 15th when everybody pressured him into saying he wasn't in the hospital. There was either two things he could have done.
We know he was in the hospital.
He was not in the
He was in the hospital.
So one Maria says we know he was in the hospital. One Maria used to say we know he was in the hospital. I think Momo forgot when she did the live going, he's in the hospital and you're all disgusting for questioning it. And now she's live, Maria versus Maria, saying he was not, he's just a cutter. And she's like, he didn't cut himself deep enough for you. And this is so ridiculous. They're fighting for a dude who doesn't care about either of them. Right? Thank you. All of this. Thank you. J-Way gets all these women fighting over how bad he, like, it's insane that these chicks will fight to the death for this guy. But I am here for it. Oh, look at Bob saying, Maria, stop. Which one? Bob, oh my God, Maria, stop. Yo, which one, Atharella? You're hilarious. Which Maria? You have to be more specific. I'm telling you, this is the most entertaining thing that has come out of this community. I feel like these two should debate each other more often. It's just Tweedledum and Tweedledummer, Tweedle enable and Tweedle enabler.
Man, there's no things happening. Secondly, what is the difference between being a cutter and suicide? Degree. The difference is degree. That's the only difference between those two things. So because he didn't cut deep enough for you, then that means he didn't feel the kind of pain you feel when you want to die? Is that what you're saying? He wasn't hurting badly enough for you? How bad does he need to be hurting to be enough? What needs to be enough?
Because you stop yelling.
You stop yelling. I'll stop yelling. Fine, I'll stop yelling.
The fact that Lumberjack can bring it down so quickly. Okay, I'll stop you. She's like, hey, didn't do it bad enough for you. And then Momo doesn't know how to handle it because she's used to being the one to monopolize the conversation. She's used to throwing out the darts. She's used to talking loudly over people. She likes to pretend she doesn't yell, but she yells. She's used to being able to do that. But Lumberjack, it's like game recognized game. Hag versus hag. Hag on hag crime is the only acceptable crime. Okay? It is like the purge. Hag on hag crime should always be legal. It should always be legal. Okay? I know. I've never heard her. This is gold. Realification, right? It's such gold. I'm sorry that you didn't know that we didn't watch that. We tried to, state it. Who knows how? I don't know when we said it, but we just both decided that we're not going to support any 90 Day with Angela Big Ed because they're just so toxic and gross and they should be fired. But I'm sorry you won't get the time back. I'm so sorry. But hopefully there'll be another season that we can cover. Or maybe me and Nana will just still do 90 Day with Nana, but switch it to something else. Yes, I was mentioning this. Cassandra, I've never heard Lumberjack speak that loud. Okay. It's the final countdown. These two. I mean, let's get back into it. Maria on Maria crime is my favorite crime. It's my favorite.
Lower your voice.
I'm agreeing to lower my voice.
Okay, good. Thank you. What I'm saying is that if he cut himself the day after when the people were starting to call the hospitals, they weren't even deep. It was very minor cut.
Why were people calling the hospital?
I don't know. I wasn't one of them, and you know that.
I do know that. You're right. You were not one of them. But it's the same thing. It just doesn't end. How much pain does a person have to be in before it's enough?
Oh my God.
You can't use pain. You can't use pain as an excuse to scam people. You can't use pain.
He didn't scam anyone.
He did scam people.
Oh my God. Both of these Marias are just wrong and wronger. Wrong and wronger. He didn't scam anyone. You can't use pain. Girl, you said he could. You guys all were like, he didn't have a mommy. He's had a hard life, so he can do all this really bad stuff. He's only racist on the weekends. Oh, come on. Buy him a fridge. Buy him a stove. You are just as bad. And now you're using the talking points of people who have been against this dude since day one. It was so pathetic. Oh my God.
certainly scams people. He was,
No.
there's no way he could have been in the hospital on the 14th, bleeding, like he said, walk 8 miles over a bridge, go home, stay in his house while he's still bleeding because
Did you map all this out? Like, seriously, did you go ahead and get a deep timeline?
he called me. He called me. Remember? He called
He
me.
called you and said
Remember?
what? That he was walking?
And he had, yeah, that
I'm
he
not
walked
disputing
home.
that he was walking. I just,
Jack's like, he called you? He called you? Don't you think he was walking? Would you map this out? And she's like, yes, I did. I listened to Yahoo Boys live. He did with that channel that's no longer a channel because one took the channel away from the other. Yes.
curious about, did you like literally map out the timeline? Did you get a timeline out? And on top of that, do you think that when somebody is very stressed out, when they are in all of this pain, do you think that they are keeping track of their minute-to-minute movements? It's just
He went
strange to
live
me.
about it. Listen to Brooke, he went live about it. He explained it. He also called me with
I
Julie on the
watched.
phone. He also called me with Julie. So he walked all the way home, and then he waited until the 15th to go to the hospital.
We
he
miss
said.
you,
Till the
Leo.
next day when the police
Right,
came,
he went to the hospital more than once. It wasn't a single act of going to the hospital. It's like you heard a different lie. He was in the hospital more than once.
He said he went to the
Oh my God. It shouldn't be this complicated. Was the dude in the hospital or not? He wasn't until he was forced to go to the hospital, either by the police or himself because he got caught up in the lie. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. Momo, you pushed forward the narrative that he was, in fact, very sick. And everyone who questions it is a horrible person, even though they put it all over the internet and blamed people for it. How dare you question it? And Lumberjack, you are such an enabler. It is insane how much of an enabler you are, how much you are willing to overlook to get a couple shitty 90-day views with him and Yeti and some blonde chick named Marlo or Margot or Marto or something. It is really bad, really bad.
hospital, or he's supposedly on the 14th, right? And then there's no, he didn't check himself in. Okay, he didn't check himself in. He waited for Cody to leave, and then he walked out the door, and he left. And Cody had his wallet and his phone. So on the 14th, and he never gave his name. He walked out the door and he walked all the way home. Okay. Now I look on my IG messages and I have a message from Julie on the 14th with a picture of a hospital room, like a small hospital waiting room. It's not an emergency room. And said, Cody is here waiting for John to see what happened. So she's saying, here's a picture of that Cody took in this room, and John, and he's waiting to find out what happened to John. And John is saying Cody left him there and he walked home. It's a lie.
You know, both of those things can be true at the same time. Cody could have been there for a period of time and then could have later left because he believed he was going to get admitted.
Wait. Dude, Lumberjack is doing mental gymnastics. Both of those things can be true in real time, okay? John could have went there and could have been admitted, and then Cody could have left because he wasn't going to get in, and he could have walked 8 miles, and he could have cut himself. Oh, my God.
This is not like that deep. I don't know, like the
Maria,
level of minutia
Minutia.
that you will dive in.
Maria's like, what's a minutia? What is minutia?
Disturbs me greatly. Ma'am, whether you believe he cut himself or whether you believe he was suicidal, it comes from the same place.
Lumberjack, your whole theory is debunked and false and doesn't hit home because you are talking about a man who weaponizes his mental health and addiction in order to hurt people and get money. Okay? He's like, F bitches, get money. That's the way JY lives his life. So no, this place of hurt you speak of, that he's always going online and he's had years and years of making shit up and, grifting, using these sad stories that keep getting worse and worse and worse the more money he needs. They don't work anymore unless it's on the willfully ignorant who are benefiting from him. So Lumberjack, you're benefiting from JY. You're benefiting because you're getting this attention, these silly little 90-day views with you and Yeti and that lady that starts with an M. It's doing something. It's feeding your soul somehow. Okay? So you're not willing to give that up. So you're willing to, as a smart lady, this is what baffles me about her, as a smart lady, just do mental gymnastics about a man that clearly doesn't look healthy, doesn't act healthy, and has had so many rages, and we're supposed to go, he didn't get drunk and call someone a cunt or harass someone or be racist in a week. Way to go, buddy. Oh, get some credit there, buds. You can't believe a word he says. He's a lying liar who lies.
It's the same kind of pain.
I don't give a shit about his problems. My problem
That's
is
my problem with you. You
I
don't
care about
care.
him.
So
when
move
he gets
along. Move along
Whoop.
if you do not care. Nobody
I'm not
dedicates this much time to somebody they do not
I'm
care
not
about.
getting drunk. I'm not getting drunk, and I
No,
will
you're
not
acting like this completely sober. You
I
are
will not
completely
accept
sober.
a drunk person getting drunk and coming after me.
Maria's like, I have never drank alcohol in my life. I have no addiction in my family. My parents loved each other. We grew up on a street where there was never crime. Everybody smiled and nobody didn't like each other. And it was always sunny in Philadelphia and the lakes were clean and everything is great. And I've never seen an alligator, but I have an arsenal, allegedly.
Every time he decides that he gets drunk, he's gonna drag.
Just move along if you do
Move
not
along.
care. Nobody
I'm not
dedicates this much time to somebody they do not
I'm
care
not
about.
getting drunk. I'm not getting drunk, and I
No,
will
you're
not.
acting like this completely sober. You are
I will not
completely
accept
sober.
a drunk person getting drunk and coming after me. Every time he decides that he gets drunk, he's gonna drag me, and I'm not gonna put up with that shit.
You do not stop. Pam, can you do me a favor? Is there a way? Is there any way that you could go a single live without mentioning John, even just like on a side note? Is there a way to just not say his name? Because if you want him to go away,
Oh, she can't. She can't. She can't. She can't. Lumberjack was like, ma'am, is there any way you could go live without mentioning my homeboy JY? Ma'am. I was like, ooh.
a single live without mentioning John, even just like on a side note. Is there a way to just not say his name? Because if you want him to go away, you would not talk about him.
Is there a way for him not to call me a bank robber or to say that I have an arsenal in my basement?
This is not real life. Is there a way for you to not talk about this man? Well, is there a way for him to not call me a bank robber? Well, then why do these charges or not charges or whatever it was exist? Why does this thing that Amber and Cheryl read about your alleged bank robbery, check kiting or whatever it's called, why does that exist then? Why does that exist? There's the thing, any kind of truth about Momo, if the stuff's brought up about what the sister said about her, if the stuff's brought up about the check kiting, any of that stuff is brought up, then she immediately wants it gone, erased. It never happened. But these things exist in the world. And I mean, is this real life? These two women fighting? It's so epic. And Momo's like, well, can he stop calling me a bank robber? Probably not, because he's a monster you helped grow.
Go a single live without mentioning John, even just like on a side note. Is there a way to just not say his name? Because if you want him to go away, you would not talk about him.
Is there a way for him not to call me a bank robber or to say that I have an arsenal in my basement in Florida?
You have an arsenal. I saw your arsenal. Everybody saw your arsenal. Brooke saw your arsenal.
Hunting rifles is not an arsenal. Do you not have
It was a lot of hunting rifles.
Oh, Lumberjack is like, you have an arsenal. It was a lot. Let's see what her friends are saying in the chat when she says, we'll rewind a little bit.
Even just like on a side note, is there a way to just not say his name? Because if you want him to go away, you would not talk about him.
Is there a way for him not to call me a bank robber or to say that I have an arsenal in my basement in Florida?
No one was talking about him, Maria. That's what 90 Days on Blast is saying.
You have an arsenal. I saw your arsenal. Everybody saw your arsenal. Brooke saw your arsenal.
Hunting rifles is not an arsenal. Do you not have
It was a lot of hunting rifles. It looked like you were going to arm the Sandinistas.
Oh my God.
Wasn't a couple of them.
You look like you were going to arm the Sandinistas. What the hell did she just say? Oh my God. I'm going to have to Google that.
Do you not have
It was a lot of hunting rifles. It looked like you were going to armed the Sandinistas.
Oh my
It wasn't
God!
a couple of guns. I saw it. I am not lying.
I
Brooke
saw it
saw
right
it.
now. It's hunting like I already talked to
Paul
Brooke.
saw it.
Her husband is a
Patrick
hunter.
saw it.
Paul saw it, Patrick saw it, my dad saw it, your dad saw it, our dad saw it, everybody saw it. So in case you don't know, the Sandinista National Liberation Front, okay? Its members are called Sandinistas in both English and Spanish. The party is named after Augusto Cesar Sandino, who led the Nicaraguan resistance against the United States occupation of Nicaragua in the 1930s. I had no freaking clue what she was talking about. And I love a historical fact, but I was like, over my head. The FSLN, which they're known as this Sandinista National Liberation Front, overthrew Anastasio Somoza, I don't know what the last name is, in 1979, ending the Somoza dynasty and established a revolutionary government in its place. Having seized power, the Sandinistas ruled Nicaragua from 1979 to 1990, first as part of a Juanita of national reconstruction. Following the resignation of centrist members from this, the FSLN took exclusive power in March 1981. They instituted a policy of mass literacy. Oh, that sounds nice. Devoted significant resources to healthcare. I like that. And promoted gender equality. Well, these guys don't sound too bad. But came under international criticism for human rights abuses. That's not good. Mass execution and oppression of indigenous peoples. Bad. Not good, guys. I see it now. Okay, a couple good things. Overall bad. Got it. A U.S.-backed group known as the Contras was formed. Was formed in 1981 when I was 1 year old to overthrow the Sandinista government and was funded and trained by the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA. Dun, dun, dun. In 1984, elections were held, but were boycotted by some opposition parties. The FSLN won the majority of the votes, and those who opposed the Sandinistas won approximately a third of the seats. The civil war between the Contras and the government continued until 1989. After revising the Constitution in 1987, and after years of fighting the Contras, the FSLN lost the 1990 election to someone else, but retained plurality, right, of seats in the legislature. The FSLN is now Nicaragua's sole leading party. In 2006, Nicaraguan general election, former FSLN President Daniel Ortega was reelected president of Nicaragua with a 38.7% of the vote to 29% for his leading rival, bringing in the country's second Sandinista government after 17 years of other parties winning elections. Ortega and the FSLN were reelected in the presidential elections of 2011, 2016, and 2021. And that is your education for the day. Okay, I know, I had to look it up too. I was just like, that's pretty good. Okay, that's a nice reference. This is why Lumberjack is dangerous, because she's got brains and knowledge. None of these hags. Momo is like, what is she talking about in the sand? What is she talking about? A beach? She does not know what she's talking about. Okay. So, okay. I rewound it a little bit because this is just too good. Okay.
I have an arsenal in my basement in Florida.
You do have an arsenal. I saw your arsenal. Everybody saw your arsenal. Brooke saw your arsenal.
Hunting rifles is not an arsenal. Do you not have?
It was a lot of hunting rifles. It looked like you were going to arm the Sandinistas.
Oh my God!
A couple of guns. I saw it. I am not lying.
I saw it right now. It's hunting like I already
Paul saw it.
Her husband is a hunter.
Saw it.
Her husband is a hunter. Yep, and it's the same thing I said. It's fucking hunting rifles, and it's not you or him or no.
It was. I'm just saying it was a lot. It was a lot of rifles.
And that's when she dropped her. She's like, I was saying a lot. It was a lot. And, Broken on Blast says, I have a fucking arsenal. Who the fuck cares, Maria W? So now she's saying, which Maria? So apparently they all got arsenals. Oh my God. And that's when Momo's like, nope, you're winning. I'm going to boot you. You're talking about my arsenal. No one's talking about my arsenal. Apparently she showed this, according to Lumberjack, to other people. All these guns.
I'm not going to put up with this shit. She's trying to sabotage this shit exactly like he is. She's doing the same exact shit that he's doing. Do you see how fucking blind she is? Maria. Yep. And
this is why we need gun control in this country, because if this idiot and 90 Days on Blast, who's an idiot as well, can have arsenals, something's wrong with this country. We're backwards. We are backwards. You don't need an arsenal to hunt a deer. Okay? This is why we need gun control. This should really, people should grab this clip and go, these are the people with the guns. Okay. Did you know that? And they'd be like, no shit. Where are these women's husbands? Exactly. Away from them. I think they're just happy they have a hobby that doesn't include them, honestly. Because Momo was like, I'm home alone. And then she was like, I don't care. I ain't never scared. And then people in her chat were like, maybe you shouldn't say you're home alone. And then she was like, I am kind of scared. And you're like, well, which one is it? Which one is it? Okay. Oh my God. Yeah. Who's selling these people guns? Who is selling these people guns? It is crazy. And then Momo's like, that's it. She's trying to, nope. She's not going to out my arsenal. I am a goddamn American. And if I want to have an arsenal so my husband can kill things and not be with me, I should be able to. Okay? Oh my God.
What is it that racist John Yates still saying? People called because...
Girl, he can't be racist now when you said for a year, he's not racist. He's so nice. He's the nicest little guy. He had a hard childhood. Everyone's jealous of him. They're using him for clout. You heard him say all of the racial slurs. You heard him say horrible things. You heard him be a xenophobe, ask for people's papers, assume people, in fact, Rabbit in the chat, assume because Rabbit is a Hispanic woman that she's not American, that she somehow is immigrated here or is undocumented or something, that she couldn't have been born here. You've seen him do crazy voices and crazy accents, trying to exhibit different ethnicities. You've seen him just be a blatant racist. And you were like, no, he's really cool. I like him. Besides, even his foam is nice. You loved it. You loved him. And now he's racist when it's convenient. How convenient.
He blamed people for harming himself.
Yeah, me. And then you went live with the Scottish egg and was like, this is horrible. I can't believe you don't push him to hurt himself. There was blood everywhere. He was menstruating. It was a heavy flow. And he ran all out of tampons and pads and diva cups. And he just spread it all over the walls. And Cody found him in a cramp-induced pose going, ow, how do women do this? Like, come on, girl.
When he didn't even do it. He didn't harm himself. He was blaming people, and he didn't harm himself.
How does anyone even trust one word that comes out of this woman's mouth? It's not like she had this epiphany. She's went back and forth with this dude for years. She's lied on multiple things. She tells us he's great, then he sucks when it doesn't suit her interests. It's like, you can't believe any of these people. They're all liars.
They will play this in court. Yeah, I want them to play it in court.
Girl, how is Momo going to get RO on anyone when she is a full-on stalker?
Because the problem is that everybody's used to, she's blind by him.
But I do hope she does keep going for him.
She's trying to change the narrative of shit. We're supposed to put up with him being drunk.
Yep.
That's exactly what we're supposed to
That's
put
what
up.
You told us.
We have to feel sorry because he had a bad childhood.
That's what you told us. You and Mrs. Doubtfire were like, he had a bad childhood. He's a good person. He's trying his hardest. You guys are horrible. He's such a talented blogger. And you're like, bro, he sits on a kitchen chair on a tiny desk with an old ass laptop with a greasy face, chain smokes, and just goes, I can't do this. It's so hard. This is so hard. That does not a blogger make.
Is that my problem? Yeah, Maria W. will be crying here in a few years saying how much money she lost. You'll see.
Just like you? Just like you? Maria versus Maria.
Yes, that's what she was doing. I dropped her. I'm not going to deal with her anymore.
You dropped her because she was making you look so stupid. And her points were all stupid, but she made you look even more stupid. Like it was crazy.
Give a shit if he sent her or she did it on her own. She's obviously blinded by what he has to say. I'm not going to let anybody harass me like he does.
Oh my God, girl. He is not harassing you. One thing I will say about JY, he is not harassing you. You guys are friends who become foes, who become friends and become foes again. You're fighting each other on the internet. What he has said about all the other women, the innocent women who didn't befriend him and didn't build him up and didn't take up for him and didn't make excuses for him, those are the women that he has harassed. Like myself and most people in this chat. Not you. You don't count because you're just in a fight with your buddy.
It's my right.
My body, my choice.
To defend myself.
With your arsenal?
He can't stop talking about everyone. And Maria wants to blame everything on everybody but him. She's not a bright woman. Lumberjack, go cut.
She's not a bright woman, girl. She just made you look so dumb.
Down a tree.
Go cut down a tree. Clever.
She wants to blame everything on everything he does on everybody else but him.
That's what you did. You guys are twinsies. You should be besties for the resties. You guys should have best friend necklaces for real.
Glad you dropped her. All she does is look at her own personality since she became friends with him. She isn't sweet. No, she's not the same person that we thought she was.
She was never sweet. She was always passive aggressive and an enabler and willfully ignorant. She literally understands and explained what white privilege is. And she sits next to a man who says, there's no such thing. That's stupid. I don't have white privilege. Actually, white men are getting it worse than anybody. And she's like, oh, okay, let's talk about 90 Day.
She was trying to flip the script. That's exactly what she was doing.
Mom will get it.
And she said Sophie saw it on this side. That shows how much she's lying. I've never, ever even talked to Sophie on a phone call.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Not an IG, not regular phone.
Huh? Because you call a lot of people on IG.
Absolutely nothing.
You call a lot of people, Momo.
Nothing. Never talked to Sophie.
Were you guys good friends? Didn't you guys have a good friendship? When you were all paneling with JY and you're like, oh, JY's so great. It's so fun.
Lumberjack, why would he make an apology to me regarding the nastiness he said about my baby girl and deletes it? He's a damn liar and a grifter.
Why doesn't Momo learn how to highlight the damn comments so we know who said it? Oh, it was Mims. Lumberjack, why would he make an apology to me regarding the nasty ish he said about my baby girl, then he deletes it? Oh, hell to the na. He's a damn liar. Lumberjack, you're far up JY's ass. You're so far, so far, so far. She did. She definitely did. She's like, they're not going to fall for this. People saying that, you know, this is racist. They're not going to fall for it. They think our black subscribers are ignorant. Yeah, I remember her little rant about that. See, the thing with Lumberjack, she has to stick to people like Momo because they're very simple, but everyone else sees through Lumberjack. We see through what she's doing. We see each other, you know, and it's not a good thing. And all her points are ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
Lumberjack, you're far enough up John Yates' ass. Yep.
Okay, thanks, Maria, for that commentary. That was great. Yep.
Absolutely, I am. And that apology, that fake apology that he made to your daughter, I'm using as part of the court thing because he's manipulative. He does this shit to everybody, and everybody is supposed to put up with her. Lumberjack is his enabler. That's exactly.
What do you think? Okay, I'm done with her. What do you think that court date is going to look like? with Momo commenting, listen, okay, here's what happened. I've been harassing him. He's been harassing me. We were friends and he was racist. But then I didn't know he was racist. And then he did a fake S attempt. But then I said it was a real S attempt. And I did a whole live about it. And I totally enabled him and helped him. But now he's being mean to me. I watched him like complain about these women and I watched him call him, see you next Tuesdays. And I just didn't realize at the time. I'm going to pull a Heidi Black. And I didn't see it. And now I see it because it happened to me. Me. It's like, no, but seriously, keep going after him. Keep going after him. That is like, yes, we were all evil, disgusting people for even making the mere suggestion that he faked it. A man who was faked his way through everything and lied. We were the evil people. How dare we question it when he literally, I mean, what a setup that was. You like gave all your login information to Mod 666. She put stuff in the story, people to blame. There were stories that hit these shitty little blogs that, all about the treason probably runs. It was just such a setup and it was so badly delivered. And Chody effed it up and JY effed it up. And then they were exposed. You just saw a guy, where am I? I just saw a guy wearing a period simulator. He could not tolerate a level 5 out of 10. He collapsed. Oh, I've seen those videos. I've seen BuzzFeed do them. And he could not even make scrambled eggs as level 3, right? Our pain tolerance and what we have to learn to just live with and still do all the things that people who are not in pain do every month is amazing. And no one gives us any credit. We don't get any days off. We need period days. I need personal period days. I do. I don't give a shit. We should have it. It's ridiculous. This shit is not fun. Okay? It's not fun. And if men had it, like I said, it'd be a totally different story. Sorry. Yes. I mean, let's be honest. We're all too good for this. All too good. But that I just had to, I was like, I know I'm going to have to talk about this Maria versus Maria on Maria crime, because it was epic. It was lovely. It was disgusting. It was sad. It was true. It was lies. It was everything. So I hope we see more of that. That's like all I can put up with right now. I can't deal with the squirrel and her new team of just now being friends with everyone that she said forced her into a really bad mental state. It's just like, oh my God, it's pathetic. These people, you have to get real life friends. There has to be a time where you got to invest in some real life friends, not just online friends. You got to get some real life friends, and let's see, did I miss anything? You guys put in the chat if I missed anything. I think that's kind of what's going on. Yeah, it's just Zeus versus Squirrel versus Zeus, Squirrel versus Zeus's teenage niece being horrible, Housewives and TL versus Zeus's niece, Sailor Moon versus Squirrel Eater trying to get back in Bob, Broken on Blast, Good Graces, Broken on Blast, having no one's back and just being like, I'm so busy. When something happens, I'm gone. But when I feel like I'm in the right, she's still going after Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon says she's still going after her and she's getting an RO. I don't think she'll be able to get anything against her because she keeps talking about her. They just keep talking about each other. At this point, they're just talking about each other. And it is very sad to hear Broken on Blast be like, I just want to keep this fun. Like, I just want to be able to like make fun of you, Sailor Moon. I just want to be able to just like put you down online. I mean, that is like my fun. Let me do that. I just want to be able to like talk shit about you to all my friends like Momo, okay? Without you going legal. So she's really hoping that. Oh, did I miss Zeus exposed? What do you do? Is it about his wiener? Because the squirrel will talk about it. You know what, Rabbit? You're right. No one likes them in real life. That's got to be it. You think your mom? Yeah, she raised us with love, understanding, empathy for all of us, and faith. Shout out to the moms. Yeah, Bob only shows herself and her hubby dancing in a G-string behind her. That's like the only time I was like, I saw that clip and I thought, you know what? Good on Bob's husband for just having some fun. Good on Bob's husband, God, he must have to put up with a lot, that guy, huh? But good on him for just showing up in a G-string, trying to embarrass her. That was like the only redeeming, relatable thing, I think. Just those two joking around. And I was like, too bad she's such a scummy person and she can't just go have fun with her husband. Looks like your husband wants to have fun. Go have fun with him. Every time you want to talk about Sailor Moon, just go have fun with your husband. And you know what would probably make him really happy? Every time you want to talk about Sailor Moon, go get sexy with your husband. If you think about Sailor Moon, go get sexy with them. Okay? Or take him on a date. Or mow the lawn with him. He probably likes that. Okay? Or anything. Do anything like that. You know, that's, I think that's a better approach than just wanting to talk about Sailor Moon. But then Sailor Moon, you can't be talking about Broken on Blessed. It just, this RO, it's coming. What the hell is taking so long? And why are we talking about it? It just don't make no sense. So, yeah, so that's still happening. JY versus the world. He's definitely enjoying all these haggers fighting in his name, for sure. Let's see. Cemetery Jen has been she tried to roll with Johnny Mac Daddy, I think, and Dofi, but then Dofi put her on blast and they unmodded her. These people get really mad when they're unmodded. It's kind of crazy because I always feel bad for my moderators. It's a thankless job. Why anyone would want it, I don't know. I appreciate my moderators so much, but I would understand in a second if they were like, I don't want to do this no more. But I like my mods because they're like fun, cool. A lot of them are friends with each other. They chat with each other. And I trust all of them and they're rad. But why anyone would get mad they got unmodded when it's not like none of these people are paying their mods. None of these people are, that's just not how it works, So it's crazy. I just don't understand why they would get mad, but they get mad about it, and the Mob Wives Tube people get mad about it. And so there's like, you unmodded me. And it's pretty ridiculous. Zeus's niece just posted on Reddit. What'd she post? I gotta look now. All right. How do we know it's her? This poor niece. All right. Which group? I assume bottom feeders. I'm gonna guess. Oh my gosh. Right. I do have pretty great mods. I love my mods. And they just would not behave like these people at all. Listen, I can't get over Polly Pocket. I didn't have many times. That was only, well, that's what they're, I said, I don't think they called him a Polly Pocket, but they're saying he's a little guy. He's like a Polly Pocket, little people, like little petiters, they're just Polly Pockets. All right, which one is from her? What does it say? What is the who put that? Oh, Valorian. What is the name of the person? What's the name of the person? What's the Reddit? Like, what's the Reddit post about? I just see just my speculation, someone wrote. I just watched Real and AZ. Who's AZ? Showed DMs that were recently released where Muzz actually did try to get Real up to be arrested. Oh, who cares? Why are we still talking about Real? It's so boring. The moment of the night you have been waiting for. Our jackass crown goes to Queen Jules. Is that what she posted? It starts, this is what Zeus's niece. Oh, okay. So not that one. Dofi, we got Dofi here. So Johnny McBooby Man. Well, who the fuck is Johnny McBooby Man? And Silent without backup Sophie. okay, is live again, trying to prove they have a legitimate platform in this community. Go back home. We don't want eh. Someone's talking about Siwa. Who cares how many? Someone says, who cares how many guns Maria has? She said her husband hunts. That's what somebody says. Don't get it twisted. Everybody's saying this is not Zeus on Reddit. Video of Zeus turning around to tell his niece about his drink. What the fudge? I don't even. Oh, okay, I see it. This is what he says as his niece walks in the door.
Look here, and Fireball I mixed Nanaimo.
What do you say?
I mixed Nanaimo.
I mixed Nanaimo.
Nanaimo bar.
Nanaimo bar. I don't know what that's English.
Look here, and
Look here.
Fireball and
Yes, mommy.
And Fireball. He's just wasted.
yeah.
I can't tell what. I wish I had my headphones. I can't tell what the niece said. It's just
No,
Zeus
oh
drunk.
my God. Hi, this lover person. Bye.
What?
Oh, Nanaimo's a place in Canada? Okay. Oh, my goodness. AZ is T-Spirit. Who the fuck is T-Spiracy? I have no idea. Thank you. Name is Birthday. Okay, Birthday Extreme 4501. Hi, Tilly. Oh, Jesus.
I had a disability lawyer. I have
Sorry,
one.
it just automatically plays the clips as you go.
Yeah.
And that will make them disappear.
Oh, that's that guy. That's that guy that Momo has got from the Mob Wives tube. He's like, and I'll make people disappear. I'm Rush Limbaugh. I'm dead, but I'm not. Okay, where the frick? Birthday Extreme 45. I don't know. I don't really care that much. I can't even find it. What am I supposed to do? New? Oh, I was on hot. I'm still kind of dumb to Reddit. Okay, let's see. Hi, Tilly. Hi. Are you going to toot on me? This way says to his niece. Days of our lives. So yesterday. I can't even find it.
Addicting women.
And there's Dofi talking about unborn babies and addiction. There's Broken on Blast putting her makeup on. Okay. It's too much. It's too much for me to look unless I have a screenshot. Okay. I mean, Zeus is gross. The squirrel is gross. They're all gross. They're all gross humans. You know? Just not, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Oh, T-Spiracy's a YouTube channel? Are they good? I don't know. Let me see. T-Spiracy. Oh, my name is AZ and I deliver brazen truth with humor on topics. Oh, okay. That's kind of sounds like something I'd be into, but well, who's Doug Bishop? Oh, no. Who's this person? Is this the person that goes live with JY? I can't go down that rabbit hole. That's too much. It's too much, everybody. So I think that's everything that's going on. I am just decorating for Christmas. I went to Michael's today. I love a good Michael's trip. It's my fave. And yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. And where he goes, I follow. Okay. Let a lot slide. I don't let disrespect fly. Thank you, Ather. I was wondering, like, when are we going to block this crazy? But I know that I have very loose blocking standards, and I let everybody know that because, I let people have their own opinion, but it's clear that this person is just wanting a lot of weirdness. So we will just hi, Tilly. Hi. Hi, the babes. You get a timeout. Timeout. Everyone gets a timeout. I don't have a crochet grudge. I just don't enjoy Maria. I just didn't know the difference between crocheting and knitting, but I do because my husband knit me a hat once for Christmas, and it was so sweet, and it had a little ball on it, and I loved it. But yeah, no, I don't have a crochet. Just not a fan of Momo. And that was that. So yeah, let's see. Great trip in DC. Got to put out those vlogs. Oh, I got to show you guys my tree. I don't even think it's too early to Christmas decorate. I was so excited. Okay, so excited about seeing Christmas stuff out there. But yeah, feel free to block that wacky person. I think I'm trying to remember who that wacky person is, but people are weird. They're weird. I was trying to explain to my friend Jake today YouTube stuff because he's not on YouTube. Well, he does have a channel, but he doesn't. It's just to watch people, and he'll join some of the Big Brother stuff and some of my lives and things. But he really is. He'll help me with like marketing things, like ideas and stuff like that, because he's smart when it comes to that stuff. And I was trying to explain how cuckoo all this is to him, and he's just like, "Oh my God, this is giving me anxiety." Is what? I'm like, yeah, these people are real. So, you got your tree yesterday. Seeing the rose gold makes me happy, right? I have put up one of my trees, but I'm probably going to go on others. What channel? I don't know. I just think some people aren't. There's a lot of people who just are, they're just like, I don't know. They're just not well. And this is a weird thing. It's just so weird. And it only, sometimes covering Big Brother, this happens too, but mostly it's runoff from this weird circus that we've parodied. And it's these runoff people who they literally say, I mean, the people that they watch say this side and that side. And it's like, you are an adult. You should not have sides. You're very weird. You're very strange. You're very weird. And I don't like it. Oh, thanks, Realification. I stopped following the JY Reddits because the JY Vault was infiltrated by a hag. She got pissed at someone and went on a banning spree and banned most of the OGs from the JY Vault with no explanation. A two-parter. Stand by. Oh, Realification, stand by. I actually stopped following a lot of them. I think there's only one JY one I follow. I think I don't remember which one. Still follow, but it was getting a little ridiculous. And I talked about it in a live. I think a lot of these pages were overrun by hags and hag sympathizers and JY sympathizers, strangely. And I actually think like Bob and Momo and all them, they all say, don't go on Reddit. Dofi says it, but they do. And I also think they do. And the squirrel says it. They definitely do, because when it suits them, they quote Reddit. Reddit said this, Reddit said that. I was looking at Reddit. But then when they know it's going to be negative against them, I don't look at that. I don't look at that trash. And they do. And I think a lot of them have sock accounts for sure. So yeah, I think that, some people have done a really good job with some of the Reddits, and I do love myself an OG member, but some of there just became a lot, I think. And it's, again, the person to really blame is Mod14Hate for taking down the OG Reddit. And that kind of sparked all these other Reddits to pop up. But the OG one was it was so choice, because it was no characters. Like that's always been my rule too, is like you just don't get involved with the characters. You can't properly. That's one thing that I think Sip and Key, the downfall really of Sip and Key is how crazy these people are. Okay. Not that there's a downfall, but the downfall of covering that, I should say, and parroting that for Sip and Key is that these people are cuckoo and they'll go do anything to get revenge on a parody or if you don't agree with them. They're just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, So, but I also think it was any kind of engagement with the characters. And I think that it became I think it just became a little like a slippery slope. I mean, I never engaged with the characters. The only person that I said, you can apologize to me, was Cooch. And that was one time when Busy was off the live. But, there were times that, I think me and Busy were on maybe different pages about engaging with them. And now we're on the totally same page. But, we're two different individuals. So we're going to handle things differently. But I was like, never talk to them, never respond. Like, just keep them on read. Keep them on read. And Scammer wants to talk to me, read. Cheryl wants to talk to me, you're on read. Jay wants to talk to me, he's on read. Mod 666, she's on read. Like Maria has messaged me, she's on read. And read. Everyone's on read, because you just can't properly. You don't want to become a character. And that is what happens. If you're covering something and you get into it, then you become a character. Realification said, this hag is still a mod on the new John Yates fan club OG Reddit. Okay. I'm not participating in that. There is no longer a John Yates hag-free subreddit. I know that the hags are going to have a field day with this. I'm okay with that. Well, realification. Protect your energy with that. Be careful. But yeah. I don't know. It's like I talked to some of the OGs and I think, there's so many people that have good intentions. And I think it really just comes down to the fact that OG Reddit was taken down. And ever since then, it's been kind of a free-for-all. And the same rules weren't applying, because they were like, they would have never talked about the hags. They would have never, if it wasn't pertinent to John Yates specifically and exposing him, they weren't talking about these nobodies that could be found on bottom feeders, that is specifically to that Reddit, because that's what they do, but to the JY one, it became just really, you didn't know on the OG one, I feel like you could really trust what was being posted. And it really was a place to collect all this data on this disgusting dude who just kept committing internet crime after internet crime. And then Mod 148 got her paws into it, her hooves. And so it just never was the same after that, unfortunately. So hopefully, I think I read that was part 2. So I read that. Thank you so much for the super chats. You sweetie, wipe the CD. I know, drag them hags. Busy has to protect himself. He has to protect his energy. He has to protect his home. He has to protect his job. They came for everything, and they've come at me for everything. So it's weird. It is weird. I was telling my friend Jake about that, about how they've come for us, and how they have my address. It's just crazy. Yeah. But that was a good segment. So, I mean, it's too bad. Where am I says, Realification, I appreciate you informing us about that. I have noticed some posts that I was concerned about and have been confused. Right? When they're sock accounts or when it's like Broken on Blast or Bob or the Squirrel or whatever, it's so obvious it's them. It's so obvious it's them. Or people that are pro them. It's so obvious. They have no boundaries. It can't just, as much as they say, oh, I don't want to go RL and I'm not going to do that. They all do it. I mean, when Mrs. Doubtfire and Momo found out people were sending stuff to me and contacting me and had my address, they were like, well, that's what she gets. Like they're just really gross people. Like I would never send any of them anything. I would never call any of them. I would never waste my time. But that's how they are. So I hope Momo and Lumberjack and Yates, and they all just eat each other. And listen, Squirrel and Broken on Blast are going to get back together. They're going to be humping again. They are definitely going to be. So interesting enough. That's just cuckoos. It's cuckoos. So, me and Busy will, we talk briefly about the stuff, but it's never going to be like it was because it just gets boring and it's tiresome. But then you have these moments of Maria on Maria crime and you're like, wait a minute, this is entertaining again. These two awful people are now just being awful to each other, which is how it should be. Awful people should only be awful to each other. That in a perfect world, that's how we'd have it. But now it's too many side characters. This girl hates this girl and this guy hates this guy and this, and none of them have valid points because they're all just the same. It's getting yuckier and yuckier when you're involving kids and teenagers and talking about people's addictions. And it's just, this too, like Busy would say, just too much. Just too much. It's too much. Too much. All right, guys. I have to take off now, but I figured I owed you all my wonderful Joleen Vlogs subscribers a Rando Chats. I'll be back soon with another one, I got to get back into the mix of these. They're really fun. They're comforting. Look at 3.5 hours flew by. Look, I could do 19 hours, right? I could do 19 hours, but I might have to go potty. I might have to shower. I might have to have a snack, kiss my husband, feed my cat, put up a tree, something like that. But I appreciate you guys joining. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for the love. Again, Friday, I'm going to be making our live to cover the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but it's also going to be a Salt Lake City on my main channel. Salt Lake City episode recap with me and Nana. So I'm married to Bravo / Nana's birthday celebration. So Nana's birthday is on Sunday, right? What day is November 20th? And Nana loves her birthday. She loves her birthday. Okay. So definitely join, say hi. Yeah, it is Sunday, but we're going to be doing it Friday the 18th. That's when she's going to get her present. I sent her, she won't watch 3.5 hours of this live, so I can set. I got new Birkenstocks and I've been trying to get her on the Birkenstock train because she wears Clarks and she loves sandals that go in between your toes and I just can't stand it. But her Clarks, I feel like they're not really doing well for her feet. So I got these new Birkenstocks, like the Arizona soft bed with the suede top. Like I hadn't had the suede top ones in a while, but I love myself a Birkenstock. Birkenstock. Am I saying that right? Yeah. Sandal, a Birkie. I call them Birkies. So I got her the same pair that I just got because she was with me when I bought them. And she's like, oh my God, I love those. They're like a charcoal gray. They're so soft. They're so comfy and they'll be great for her feetsies. So she's getting them delivered on Friday. And then we can have matching Birkies. And I'm introducing her to the Birkenstock Club. So yeah, definitely join us. She does, if you guys are interested, she does have an Amazon wish list. It might be in this description, but if it's not, it's in the description of all my videos. On my other page, if you guys want to send her something, you can. If not, just joining us would be amazing. Right? They'll be back together. They're both, I'm a loser, but so what on to come. They're just so thank you guys so much. That goes around the toe. Really, I just don't like that around the toe stuff, Shaniva. I don't like it. But maybe Nana probably would like it. To like it, but come wish her a happy birthday if anything, because she loves you guys and she just loves being an internet star and being super dupes famous. And Nana is always the star, and we love Nana and we protect Nana at all costs. All right, guys, where's my outro? I can't even find it. Oh, you know what? Do I not have an outro for this channel? I don't. So we're just gonna end it. Everyone, take care. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.